T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now tapped into the coolest reptile podcast in the world. Welcome to the Trap Talk podcast. I'm your boy MJ. What is good? If this is your first time tapping in, do your boy a favor and yourself a favor. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That way on top of every single podcast I drop here on the Trap Talk podcast YouTube channel. If you're into reptiles, keeping or breeding or all the above, this is the right place to be. I bring all the top of the top to this platform. So all that being said, I hope you short tail fanatics are ready, because it's been a while since I brought some short tail content to this, other than Elijah. Okay, Elijah was sick, but this is solely going to be wrapped around short tails. And I hope you guys are excited. I get asked by a lot of you out there for me to bring some short tail guests on. So why not bring two of the most powerful ones? I feel like that's killing it in the industry today. But shout out to all the early birds. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone who subscribed to this channel. Thank you for spending your time and basically your life with me. This really means a lot. If you're looking for exclusive content, if you're looking for more behind the scenes on what I got going on here with this podcast and my productions, best thing you can do is go down to the link and become a part of the Trap Talk Patreon family. I want to say thank you, and I appreciate so much to all my Trap Talk Patreon family members out there. Your guys' support is what keeps me going. And yeah, I do this for a full-time living. So, I mean, any kind of support really means a lot. And I got to say my Patreon members have really been sticking by me, and it's growing. So if you want to tap in with all my Patreon members, you want to tap in with the family, go down to that link. As soon as you become a member of the Trap Talk Patreon family, you get a link to the Discord, which basically taps you in with over 135 trappers, people selling shit, buying shit, talking about shit, all the above. It all goes down. Not only just snake stuff, all around life stuff. So I got to say, shout out to my Patreon members. If you're looking to also have an important question or important topic, and you want to make sure I bring it up, best thing you do is drop a super chat. All right. Drop any amount of super chat and I'll get it on the big screen, and we'll go ahead and make sure we get that question answered or we get that topic talked about. And yeah, I got to say, any support means a lot. And I got to say, the support I've gotten throughout the last 3 years of building this podcast, it's priceless. That's all I can say. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. Other ways you guys could check out what I got going on is you can follow me on Instagram. Head over to Instagram. Follow me at the Trap God 619. That's where I have a lot of my productions and stuff I work with. And then I'll also make sure you go follow the podcast's Instagram page as well, the Trap Talk Podcast on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook now. Come on, guys. What's good? If you're on Facebook like I am, head over to the Trap Talk Podcast Facebook page, drop a like and drop a review. Let me know what you like best of this podcast. But come on, don't be shy on Facebook. Show me some Facebook love, even though I talk all the shit. Help me be more friendlier on Facebook by liking my Facebook page. Hell yeah. Also, too, man, you guys like to send me donations, and I'm very grateful for that. So any donation you'd like to send me, go ahead and send it PayPal via friends and family at Exotics Cartel with an A, not an E. Mad love and support, man. Early birds, what is good? Who's here? Who's ready to rock and roll? Wait, hold on. I'm so sorry. This episode is brought to you by somebody super gangster, one of my good friends, one of the OGs in the game, Mark Bailey over at Mark Bailey Reptiles. Please go give him a follow on Morph Market. Be ready for his productions. It's going to be hot. I'm not sure what he has up there now, but I can tell you right now, we've been talking about what he has to come. And man, this dude, and also I got stuff coming from Mark Bailey. Woo! I'm excited. Finally got some Mark Bailey heat. But yeah, go give him a follow. Check him out. And I'm going to work my ass off to try to get this guy on Instagram and post more snakes, because it's kind of ridiculous, the shit that he's making. He doesn't post it. He's kind of a dick. I'm not going to lie. He keeps it all for himself. Yeah, Mark, you heard me. You're a dick. I'm just kidding. Love you, buddy. Yeah, please go give him a follow. Appreciate that. But early birds, what is good? Who's here? Who's ready for this short tail throwdown? Jake Doyle, what is up? Thank you for being here. Trap Talk Patreon member all day. Nasarg, what is up, Nasarg? Thanks for being here. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. The homie Burning Heart Exotics. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. The homie Ricky Bobby already with the super chat. Let's go, Shane. It's my dog right there. Hey, listen, we got to reschedule today's session, bro. Definitely my bad. So it's my boy Shane though. We got big things in the works. Shout to my boy Shane. Thank you for your love and support. The homie Josh, Scale Fins and Feathers, Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. JKJ Reptiles, what is good? Thanks for tapping in. Julio, what is up, Julio? How's the productions doing? Julio got some snakes for me. He's killing it. Trap Talk Patreon member also every day. If you want to talk about some short tail breeders, I'm looking to bring on someday. This is one guy for sure. Definitely in the making. It's going to happen. It's my boy Sean Perry. Go give him a follow on Instagram. My homie Sean Perry don't play. It's my boy Sean Perry. And he's a Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Shout out to the homie. Denton. What's up, Denton? Thanks for tapping in, Denton. Hey, MJ, it would be awesome if you could do a podcast with Boa Breeder of BCI and what was Vin Russo? Didn't we talk about boas the entire time? I mean, I agree. You're right. I have boa people in mind. But I did bring Vin Russo on recently. So, but I'll do that for sure. Don't trip. Jerome, what is up, player? Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Heavy hitter in the ball python game. It's my dog right here. If you want to talk about OG, triple OG, my very first Patreon member, 1776 Exotics. So, homie Mike, what's up, player? Thanks for tapping in. Go give him a follow on Instagram. Homegirl Chantel in the building. Team Zoo Dreams all day, every day. Go give her a follow. Pacific Rim Serpents. That's my dog. Eric's More Factory. That's my dog. What's good? Sunshine State Sulfurs. That's my dog. What's good? OG of Vegas player shit right here. Here's my boy Dom. 702 Serpents. Another short tail. I mean, he's diverse. My boy has a lot of stuff going on, but this guy right here, I got to bring to the platform very soon. Tap in with me, Dom. We got to schedule that. Also, Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. The homie Jake Hole looking to pull a miracle off. Guess what? He got an emerald that's an import and it regurged. That's okay. Been there, done that. Guess what? He supposedly fed it 2 meals and it held it down. Jake, I love being wrong. Here's the thing. I'm never wrong. That's a lie. I am wrong. But this one, I'm telling you right now, you need to beef the fuck up that next meal, man. Give it 30 days. I don't care. Give it a good rest period. But give that fucker a big meal. It holds it down. Give it another big meal. I'm still not convinced. Many stories. You cannot heal regurgitation in an emerald. I hope you prove me wrong. This would be crazy because if you prove me wrong, you can write a book about it. Let's go. You know what, Jake? I'm rooting for you, just so you know. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Go give him a follow on Instagram. He had amazing first clutch. It's my dog. The homie Nate Dog. What is up, Nate Dog? Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Private Sector Pythons. What is up? Thanks for tapping in. Poofy Steffi. What is up? That's a long-time homegirl right there. Thanks for tapping in. I appreciate you. Coens Constrictors. What is up? Thanks for tapping in. My bad. GSJ Chondros, homie Flex in Texas all day, every day. And this shit is hot. This fool's not playing with this Chondros game. I'm telling you. Thanks for tapping in. Hissy Fit Reptiles. What is up, player? Thanks for tapping in. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Wise Guy Reptiles. What is up? Look who it is. Lucas tapping in. Was it Unfiltered that brought you back to Trap Talk, or was it the Short Tail Talk? I don't know. The homie Lucas is here, though. This kid is like, he's somebody who I was like his biggest fan when he was 14, and now he's like 18, and now I'm not his biggest fan. He won't even post pics with me when we hang out anymore. It's kind of sad. It's like, damn, like I'm not cool to him no more. You know what I mean? So I'm glad you're here. Thanks, Lucas. It's crazy. Just getting old. I'm just getting old. What do you want me to do? Jamie, what is up? Thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. Stone Age Ball Pythons. What is up? Thanks for tapping in. And then we're going to end this in style. We're going to end this with Rich Crowley. I feel like this name is big. Am I tripping? Rich Crowley. Well, you have to excuse me, Rich. I heard your name before. Maybe these guys know, but it's game time because, guys, I'm super excited for tonight's episode. It's more like a showdown because I'm not going to lie. Before I getting out of the short tail game, obviously, there are people I would follow pretty aggressively. When I say aggressively, whenever they had stuff available, whenever they were producing stuff, I'm all over it. Dan, shout out to that guy. Dan is fucking high class when it comes to productions. He's very like boutique style. He doesn't do a bunch of stuff, but whatever he does, it sells quick for the most part, and it's high quality. Okay. Then we have my boy Matt O'Malley's Morph, the unsung hero of the game. I feel like this motherfucker deserted the ball python game as it should be deserted, and he created his own legacy in the short tail game, which we're going to talk about. But I'm very proud of my boy Matt. He's definitely stuck down to his fucking projects, and he has so much to talk about now. But without further ado, it's fucking game time, man. I need you guys to get the likes up right now because it's about to go down. I have the head-to-head fucking episode that everyone's been waiting for. O'Malley's More versus Dan Magano's Snakes. Let's fucking go.
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk Podcasts?
Yes.
Man.
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes,
Exclusive. Oh,
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up.
lock away your children because it's about to get ugly. Here we are. What is good, Dan and Matt? My
What's
two
up?
homies. What's up, player? Dan, how's your battery life? Can we just disclose that real
So,
quick?
so right now we've got it up to about 62%, but I don't know how long it's going to go.
Let's not waste any fucking time, man. What first and foremost, let's start with Dan. Dan, how you living? How's things been? It's been a while since I've had you on the show. Thanks for being here, but let's catch up. How are things with you, buddy?
Things have been all right. Just been keeping busy. I just took a trip. Obviously, I saw you out at Tinley, and then I went to Vegas from Tinley, and then stopped at a few places on the way from there. So I just got home on Sunday, went straight up Monday to catch the Maiden show. Got home at like 2 o'clock in the morning from that, and had to turn around and go back to work at 7. So been running ragged pretty much. So just that, doing snakes and work.
Remind me, how many times have you been vending Tinley now?
Never.
Well, no, I mean, I brought some animals with me to this one that I had on Dylan's table. But that's the only time I think I've had animals out at that show. I've been to the show several times, maybe 5 times now. But I don't vend shows very often at all, almost never.
Holy shit. Okay. So that, like, I was under the assumption when you said, oh, I come to a lot of Tinleys, like you go to a lot of Tinleys and you vend. So you just go to Tinley. Wow.
Yeah.
How'd you do? Let's talk about how you did at Tinley. I mean, how were sales?
Sales were pretty terrible across the board, I think, for most people. So the crazy thing about it to me is, normally at shows you have a lot of people that are just tire kicking or people that just want to look and touch and hold things.
Right.
I think in the 2 days I answered one question, and it was about one of Dylan's animals. Not a single question or anything I had out, nothing. Dylan, I think, sold maybe one animal.
Wow.
A few other people I knew were there, had either no sales or only sales they had made prior to the show that people were picking up. I did talk to one person who seemed to do well, but that was about it. Everybody else seemed to say that the show is pretty abysmal.
Would you say that you're going to say fuck vending ever again? Or, I mean, was that like a bad experience of vending in your case?
No, I really don't like vending for other reasons. I don't like vending because, I really like to do my homework on a buyer and know who's getting the animal and how prepared they are to take care of it. And it's really hard to do that in person. People can lie regardless, but it's a lot easier to lie when you really have no recourse to kind of look that person up and see what's going on with them. Whereas if somebody inquires via social media, you can search them in groups and see what kind of stuff they're posting. You can go to their personal page, see what kind of stuff they're posting, how they're keeping their own animals. You just have a little bit more time to kind of ask questions and do your homework there. And to me, that's a really key part of working with these animals, is making sure that wherever they go, they have a solid foundation there, and that the person's prepared, that the animal's in the best situation for the animal, and that, both of them are going to do well together. Whereas at a show, I don't feel like you can always gauge that. It's a little bit more difficult.
Plus mites.
Yeah, mites.
Just
Yeah.
say it. I'll be
I mean,
that guy.
I mean, it's like one of many things, right? Mites. I feel like mites is something that's so overlooked. I feel like people are bitching about Nido, and not that they shouldn't, but you should be more fucking worried about mites too, for one thing, because you want to talk about something that carries and takes it to the next animal. Mites is fucking number one for that, and Matt's right. Mites is one of the one thing that somebody gets from getting an animal at a show. Not all the time. I'm not gonna say every animal obviously has mites being sold. That's not the case, but it's not uncommon for people to go through that when picking a snake from a random person at a show, right? You gotta do your research,
Right.
like you guys are saying. Now, Matt, real quick, what's up, Matt? How you living, buddy? What's up, my boy Matt, right here in the building?
Fucking doing my thing, bro. You know me. I fucking tattooing my ass off, taking care of the kids, trying to be an attentive husband, and still pull clean lines with a broken back. Dan, you see my hat? I wore this just for you.
That's probably the team left that I'd be rooting for right now, so I'm okay with it.
I'm there with you, bro.
It actually decreased in value when I put it on because of the white headband. I did that just for you because I love you. And I have multiple others over here for MJ as well.
Uh-oh.
He's literally he's gonna be wardrobing hats throughout this whole episode for sure.
So the crazy thing is, MJ and I should be arguing baseball right now. Both of our teams who should have won those series got bounced the fuck out of there.
Yeah, so we have nothing to say at all, period, right now. But I will say, I mean, as far as much as I've cared since being in the hobby, the Braves has fucked us always, like basically always ruined our chances. And I never liked playing you bastards for sure. That's a fucking fact.
But Atlanta, man, it's ruthless. Everything about it.
Either way, so I want to kind of catch up with you here, Matt. You've like I said, I'm proud of what you've done throughout the last 2 years. I mean, how long has it been since you said, yeah, I'm good on the ball pythons? Not that you just dumped everything, but your whole focus, when was that?
I haven't bred any ball. I bred ball pythons, I think, I don't know. I probably remember 2020. I had some. I think I had my last clutch in 2020. And, I just realized that it wasn't what I wanted to do. It was a great stepping stone, and I'm very appreciative for it. But I think, I mean, dude, I was blessed with people like, to be honest, Dan. I bugged the shit out of Dan whenever we first met. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I just knew that the guy had information I needed, and he was a cool motherfucker because we both listened to metal and shit. But I've honestly just been blessed with people that will, mentor me, and I've learned to trust the breeders I've bought from, and that I mean, I just knew that it wasn't my bag, man. I mean, it's not what I wanted to do. You got to stick to your heart on that, even though it's hard when you have the influence. You got to know who your homies were coming up in this, and you saw a lot of them doing really well, but deep inside you didn't want to do it. Well, and dude, to be honest with you, I mean, we're homies with a lot of the same people. You know what I mean? Cusco, fucking, really, I mean, as far as like, I mean,
this was said one person.
Well, I mean, that's like Cusco himself is like multiple fucking people.
Shane. What about Shane?
Shane, yeah, but I'm talking, Shane. But I mean, like, dude, Shane got some dope ass tattoos that this kid here locally did. Just saying, selfless plug there. I did them.
Okay. So wait, hold on? I got to ask you. Do you regret your decision of going so heavy into the short tail game and not leaving just a little bit of some ball python projects there to keep the short tail game going in case you can't sell stuff? I mean, I'm just curious.
I mean, to be honest with you, until about a month ago. A month ago was the first time in those 2.5 years, that I thought, fuck, I should have kept something. But my shit that I had is with people that I know can just at a call be like, hey man, you know, let me get this, let me get that. Because I mean, you know, they went locally to people that I really trust. So I mean, a lot of them didn't, but a lot of them did, because it got to the point, because again, dude, it's just me, man. I mean, you know, I know Dan, fucking A, Dan, it's just Dan, you know. I'm not sure if, I know when you're out of town, oh, Lil Dog, Lily Dog there fucking helps you out, you know.
Yeah, I have it made compared to this fucking poor bastard Dan, and you know what? Dan just decides not to want to make money in snakes because he doesn't believe in it, even though he does YouTube, which really bugs me, Dan, because I know you could be making so much extra money if you really wanted to, but you be honest, you're not motivated to make money off snakes, are you?
So yes and no.
That's a great topic. Great topic.
Yeah, I would obviously love to have more money and stuff, but there are lines I won't cross. There's things I won't do when it comes to making money off the animals. For one, I really fear having it be my only source of income, of course, because one, the legal landscape is super all over the place. We don't know where that's going. Two, you look at the economy right now and how it's affected sales overall. You know, if this
100%.
If this was my only source of income right now, I would be homeless, because animals are not moving right now the way they've moved the last 20 years.
Bro, I'll tell you something else and it's a fact, and I've messaged both of you and talked about it. There's people that see your shit, and you know, I mean, dude, there's all of a sudden there's these hating ass motherfuckers, and I'm just gonna go ahead and get on that topic real quick. You know, it's like, I mean, I'm sure everybody has them, right? Am I wrong? Do you guys not have motherfuckers that, like, I mean, I know me personally, you know, for some dumb shit, I've had, like, dude, my fucking Instagram, and I mean, I know it's just fucking social media, whatever, but we've all had, I've had the conversation with both of you. I mean, dude, it's amazing what someone has the ability to do to your fucking following on social media just by reporting a fucking picture, you know what I mean, or dude, something.
I talked about this last night, bro. Listen, this is why, like, it's not like, we want to know what really gets like something more appreciated about going to a show. It's not running into somebody who's a fucking goddamn social media influencer and has 100,000 followers. No, the fact that I ran into Dan, somebody that I've been following legit for like the last fucking 3 years. And and what's funny is, like, what means more to me than that is, like, at least finally I met Dan. So let's just say my Instagram goes away. Well, guess what? Me and Dan met before. So it's not like we have nothing but a fucking social media relationship. We actually met in person. And I care more about that than any fucking goddamn followers in India or Australia or fucking people. Like, I want, dude, I am so die hard about genuine followers. Like, I make it like Instagram does not like me. Like, I just, okay, check it out. I'm on, so I used to get monetized. I was getting like a few $100 a month off Instagram for a second, right? And then all of a sudden they started coming with these strikes. And I'm like, community strikes. I'm like, from what? And this is from like 2019. And it's because I said I had a super.
Oh, they go back and look. They'll go back and look.
So I was all because I kept using the word available. And because I studied it, I was like, what the fuck am I saying? And it's because I was using available with these fucking snakes. And so I'm like, dude, I feel like, okay, once my strike ends November, okay, I guarantee they're just going to do it again. They're going to find, like, I've been doing that for the last fucking 4 years. Like,
exactly. So, dude,
it's like,
you know, okay,
serious, bro.
I got fucking flagged since, May, June, July, June. Since June 28th, I've had 6 posts and 2 stories flagged by a human. And I fucking called Barcheck, bro, because he came to the crib. And I wasn't trying to pull that card, but if anybody knows fucking social media, it's probably going to be Brian fucking Barcheck.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he came to the crib, did that video. We had a great time, got to chill with Noah. I'm going to set up a tattoo with him, go up there and do it and shit. And I mean, like, kid's fucking awesome, right? So I called Barcheck. I'm like, look, this is what's going on, dude. And he said, send me a screenshot. You know, because you can go and look on Instagram where your violations are. You know what I mean? And exactly the same fucking thing that happened to you happened to me. I was using the word available or hashtag snake for sale.
Or sale.
And,
yeah.
And fucking Brian just flat out being Brian, you know, blunt as fuck was like, well, you're going against our terms and conditions. Yeah. And I was like, God damn it. And I knew it, but I mean, at the same time, he broke it down to me. A fucking human, not a bot, not some fucking kid sitting at a fucking desk, you know, upset as fuck because he's in a cubicle and didn't get to play the trumpet and some, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, some fucking asshole, you know, it's when you fucking, contest it. It's when you contest it, then a human gets involved, looks at it, and is like, well, you did this and you did that. So, I mean, that's when Barcheck pretty much said, man, you're going against the terms and conditions. They kind of got you stuck. What can you do? Yeah. And I mean, that was like the biggest kick in the balls because, bro, I mean, and I get it. I mean, I worked hard for this shit. You know what I mean? I put fucking time in, you know, I mean, you know, I'm not out like Dan taking pictures of pumpkins and my snakes and shit. Getting all fucking fruit.
Well, okay. So this is what I want to get to because I feel one piece of effort I see from Dan, and I see he wants, you know, something that he should deserve, and that's fucking using YouTube. Like, Dan, you have really good content on YouTube, bro. Like,
100%.
Really break shit down to where you make it very clear what it is you're working with, what we're talking about. Like a fucking 4-year-old could get it, you know.
How to control them, how to read them.
It's great,
yeah.
But at the same time, like, you don't get paid a fucking lick off that shit. I mean,
my YouTube's monetized, but I think it makes like $70 a month maybe right now on average. And that's only because I have members and things like that. With advertising on there, I think I make like $30 a month if I'm lucky. Now, I also get very frustrated with YouTube, with the algorithm beating you down. And like, people don't understand, like, they subscribe to you, which is really wonderful. And we all appreciate that. But if you subscribe to me and you don't watch my videos when they come out, or
then what the fuck is it worth?
Reasonable, then they actually restrict your content because they feel like, well, if these people felt like they liked your channel so much they subscribed and they don't want to watch your video, well, nobody else is going to want to watch your video. So you get all these people that subscribe just to be nice or be friends, but they're actually hurting the channel instead of helping it if they don't watch the content.
I mean, you don't want to know how far I think it was last year, Tinley. And like, you know, I had all these old school guys, you know, like Marshall Mendez, and like I had all these OGs around me, and I know they watch my podcast, but I'm like, are you fucking actually subscribed to my podcast? So I started grabbing their phones. I started grabbing all their phones. I was like, go to your fucking YouTube. Go to your YouTube right now. And like, they didn't know that they weren't actually subscribed. You know, I had to fucking literally like physically click it. Like, now you get everything. And it wasn't Marshall. Marshall actually was subscribed. I forgot who it was. I'm just giving you an idea, right? So like, I think it's different. But now there's just some people who like, they know how much an important a subscription is, and they just don't want to do it. There's just some haters out there, bro. I gotta say, but there's also people out there who are clueless, and just like, that's why it's as annoying and repetitive it is. I literally have to say, guys, hit that subscribe button because it helps me out. It helps out what I do. It makes me relevant to YouTube. If you don't subscribe, I don't become relevant. That means,
like my live streams, where I don't direct people every 10 minutes to hit like. I might get like 25 likes on a live stream, but when I remind them every 10 minutes, all of a sudden I have 100. And so it's not like more people are watching that one or less people are watching. It's like people just don't think about it and they don't realize the value of that and how much that means. Every comment
go
you
hit
leave
the like
is,
button right now on this.
huge. Yeah, every comment is huge on the live stream, and then after the live stream's over, going back and leaving another comment is such a super help, because all YouTube gives a shit about is traction and viewership, because they're trying to make money selling ads and doing all this stuff. So the longer they keep this user on YouTube and the more engagement they see, then they're going to promote that video. It doesn't matter. The content literally doesn't matter of your video. I mean, other than following their standards and not like, being on there doing terrible things. But I mean, you could literally make a video just making weird noises. And if it gets enough traction, then they're going to push it.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
This is why I try not to go down the rabbit hole on taking this so serious, because there are fucking people who do reviews on shit that have millions of subscribers and they get paid millions of dollars. So it's like, dude, at the end of the day, like, you have to stay true to what you're trying to put out there. And for me, you won't ever see me go to the extreme by throwing the snake on a kid or like doing the kind of shit that's being put out there. I do have standards, and that's why I don't tend to like try not to look at the growth of my YouTube. I pay attention to my Patreon, bro. My Patreon is how I know I got motherfuckers standing behind me and how I know I need to keep pushing, because I mean, I'm getting paid more on Patreon than YouTube's ever fucking paid me. Like, YouTube don't fucking pay shit. And I put my whole fucking sweat and tears in YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But at the end of the day, how big is the reptile world? It's big, but it's only so big. And it's as far as getting a bunch of viewers one at a time, in the sense you have to be sensational. And I mean, this podcast is only sensational for fucking people like Sean Perry in the building and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, or fucking like people who are geeked out over this. But I'm okay with that though, Dan. Like, I don't want to go that route and be like desperate for shit, because that's when you break character. I'm not breaking who I am ever.
That's it. And you got to keep the dude 100%. I mean, and that's, to me, that's 100% why, I mean, I don't even fucking, dude, I had so many people reach out to me after Barcheck came here and did that video. And they were like, dude, I mean, I legit went from like 800 to 1,200 subscribers, like, really quickly. And I haven't put a video out in well over a year. And I've really considered it here recently to kind of just do it. But I mean, like, it just became a fucking almost like a goddamn job, bro. And I got enough fucking jobs. I got shit I got to do.
Oh, that's the thing. People message, when's the next video coming out? When's this coming? It's like, I have a million things going on. I have 140 animals I take care of by myself. I work 50 plus hours a week at work. I got to drive hundreds of miles a week to get to work. I have to go grocery shopping. I have to clean my house, clean my yard, walk my dogs, like try to interact with my friends and family and stuff like that. So people just don't realize. They just kind of expect, and I don't even think they mean to. But
no, they don't. But
it just becomes where that's your purpose to them is that video, and they get upset if it doesn't come out when they expect it to. And it's like, man, and then you work on something really hard and put it out and fucking 73 people view it. It's like, why am I doing this?
Because check it out. At the end of the day, a lot of these people are comparing shit that is being put out by people who do this for a full-time living, bro. And that's
exactly.
And here's the thing, bro. Like, I was only able to kind of be relevant because a lot of this shit that I started, I was out of work because of an injury. I remember it was my knee. I remember on my knee I was fucked up. So
I remember when you went to surgery.
Right. And I used to do and I was home all the time. So I used to do podcasts, right? And then when I went back to work, bro, and I went back to a 14-hour fucking job and trying to do these podcasts, oh my God, I got depressed because I was like, dude, I was getting pulled two different ways. And I'm like, holy shit, like everything I just created and is now going to be like, I remember like the first week I went back to work, I was going to have to already cancel one podcast that week. And my heart started racing. And I was like, oh, this is not fucking good. And bro, this is not easy. This is why when I talk to people who I feel like, oh, do you do snakes for full time? Like you have 300 clutches a year. Nope. I have a 9 to 5 too. what the fuck? Like, why? And like, you know, I don't know, like some people like yourself, Danny, I'd rather not give up security, like especially in a position like you never know where the snakes are going to be, right? But also, Dan, you choose to work with what you work with for a certain reason. You know, you could dabble into something that can make you in some money, and you rather not go that route. Am I right?
Yeah, well, if that doesn't interest me, why am I going to do it? You know, I mean, it's just, I already have a job I don't like. I don't need to have projects at my house I don't like. You know,
you don't need hog nose. You don't need hog noses.
no.
Cream of the crop. Cream of the crop.
Yeah, you know, it's just
to the top.
it's just well, yeah. So it's one of those things too where, you know, when things are going great with the animals, it's a pleasure to walk in that room. It's a pleasure to spend time with them, to do what you're doing. But
yes,
when life is kicking your ass and when stuff's going wrong with the animals, or you get mites, or something gets sick, or a snake you've had for 20 years starts to go downhill, and all these things are happening, or babies are hatching, and you're overwhelmed, like that's the time where if you're not invested in the projects you're doing, that you're not going to spend the time that you have to, because that's when it becomes a grind. And anybody that tells you at some point in time it doesn't is lying, or
fucking full of shit.
Yeah, either to themselves or to everybody else.
Because I mean, look behind NJ. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not to mention what he has on the fucking. I mean, that room is full. The room is full, bro.
Yeah.
And he's got fucking like goddamn totes on top of that. And so you see what the fuck is going on with me, Dan. I've seen your room. You know what I'm saying?
But what Dan is saying is, like, Dan's collection is what this room is to me. It's his passion. It's he's only he's really working with what I love. I have the trap, which I love the trap, but I don't want to. Like, that's my money. Like, I go in there to work. Like, it's work. When I walk in there, my whole mindset changes. I'm like reaching out to people on Morph Market. I'm trying to sell things. I'm like wheeling and dealing. Should I trade this? Like it's work in that trap. In here, bro, nothing's. I ain't selling shit. Fuck yourself. Like, are you kidding me? I'm trying to figure it out. Like, I'm in this room and I know that nothing's for sale and it feels great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But over there, it's like, you know, and here, one thing that you said, Matt, and that's what's making me so passionate about having this someday is, yeah, it may take a lot of work. I'm sorry, Dan said this, but you guys both agree to this, but it may take a lot of work, but I want to know who the fuck I'm selling my snake to. I want to know who you are, motherfucker. Like, who are,
right.
Like, I don't care if you have money. Like, I'm putting something in your hands that took me years to make, you know? And not only that, my whole mission behind this is to be a mini Patrick Holmes. Do you know who Patrick Holmes is? Any of you guys? Legendary conduit breeder. Guess what? He pays for nothing. He pays for nothing. All he does is trade. If he wants something, like I'm talking anything, bull and python, mangrove, whatever the fuck, he has such amazing chondros where somebody's going to want one of his chondros and he just fucking trades for it. You know, obviously it's going to the right person, but imagine that. Like, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, guys, I don't have a fucking 9 to 5. I commend you guys for it. I'm not capable of working in corporate America. I can't.
Dan is the one that deals with it. Well, I am very thankful for my clientele. Dan hates everyone he talks to every day of his life. But I mean, those people really can't park. All I'm going to say.
So that store's closed now. So now I'm in a different location. I actually have to work at that store next week though, because I got to finish pulling everything out of there. I've been working on it for a few weeks, but
well, so let's talk about some short tails. Let's roll into it.
Thank you for doing that. What's going on? I want to know right now what's going on going into 2023 for you, Dan, as far as your short tail projects. And then also, real quick, if you don't mind, what have you done this year? What all did you produce this year, if you don't mind, number wise?
Okay, so I hatched around 80 babies this year, which is honestly a lot for me. I've done more in the past, but
fucking huge.
Usually like 30 to 50 is probably mostly my goal for a season, around that range, just doing a couple of select clutches. This year, I just happened to pretty much hit on everything I put together. So I had a really, really good season, and it's been a lot of long-term projects starting to kind of come to fruition and things starting to move in a direction that I want to go. Got some results that I expected, some that I didn't expect. Mostly overall this season exceeded my expectations. For 2023 though, honestly, I don't know. Like on my refrigerator, you can't see over here, I have a list of potential pairings that I'm thinking about. And what I like to do is list my females that I want to use in a given season, my first choice of male, my second choice of male with that female. And then some of those males might overlap, but I'm trying not to run them to multiple females typically. So then it becomes, okay, what's more important and playing around. But with where the market's at right now, I haven't paired anything up yet, and I'm not sure that I will. I have a lot of projects I want to pair,
right.
But unless stuff starts moving, I don't. Technically, I can find ways to house all the babies I have now into like sub-adults or whatever, but it would be tight and it would be obnoxious and it's a lot of work and not what I want. And we sit here and we preach as breeders all the time to new people, make sure you're ready to handle this, make sure you're ready to handle this. But in reality, I've never ever sat on babies ever. Everything that I produce is always gone by the end of the season. This is the first time that stuff's not flying out of here. I've still made some sales.
People aren't even asking fucking questions.
No, I'm not even getting lowball offers. I'm not even getting stupid questions. I'm not getting anything. It's just radio silence. You put up, and I have some snakes up right now that I think are absolute bargains for what they are, considering the lineage and everything
They're beautiful.
else. Nothing.
They're beautiful.
Nothing. So
It was great to see Dan's work in person, and I will say, hold on, when the fuck did you switch hats? Wow, when did that happen?
A while ago. That's his third hat.
Bro, this dude. I'm a fucking ninja, son.
Right. That's great. I want to see that. Keep impressing me. But hold on, I want to go back to Dan real quick. Dan, overall, when it comes to your projects, you have so many females that go for you each year, and what I mean by that, like, can you produce or can you breed a girl that laid for you the year before, or are you somebody who likes to give them the year off? Like, how does that work with you?
I don't have a set formula.
You guys are going to have to give me 1 minute. Liam just spoke up. Give me 1 minute.
Do your thing.
All right, you better come back in a different hat.
Yeah.
And so anyhow, with blood pythons, I don't know of anybody that's ever successfully had a blood python female go back to back. I'm sure it's happened somewhere along the way. I just don't know of one. The only situation I know of where one went back to back, it was bred. It went through the process, whatever. The person had the male in with it later, bred again while it was gravid. It ended up popping out a clutch and then popping out a retained sperm clutch the following season without being paired. That's the only one I know of. Short tails, on the other hand, will go back to back. Typically, my goal is every other year. For girls, sometimes I might wait 2 or 3 years because I'm trying to line up an up-and-coming male with that female, and I want her to be available when he's ready. So sometimes I'll have a female that's 3 years without getting bred just because the vision is her with this specific male, and I don't want to potentially do anything to jeopardize that project down the line. I'm trying to think how many girls I've had go back-to-back. Sambuca did it once, 2015 and 2016. And then I had her off until I believe 2019. And now she's not going to be bred anymore anyway. She's just kind of gotten too old and she's not eating as well and keeping on weight as well. So she's retired from breeding. And now, mind you, she's, I believe, 18 years old this year. So it's not like she's young or anything either. But I have had snakes that age produce with the short tails because they usually live into their 20s. But I've had a couple of girls go back to back, but really it depends on when they lay and how they bounce back. I don't pump my snakes with food. I feed them pretty sporadically. So typically for me to get a snake back up to weight often takes, 6 or 7 months before I really feel that they'd be back to that breeding weight. And by that time, a lot of times you're mid-season and I would just rather wait and line them up for something else.
Now, since we're waiting here on Matt, I'm curious. I want to say, like, what's one of the biggest struggles that people go through trying to breed short tails for the first time that they're not really prepared for?
Well, I will say two things. One's not necessarily a struggle, but it kind of amazes me in a sense how people get to the point where they have eggs in the incubator or have babies hatched and don't know some of the basic things about breeding them. which if you're out there and you're thinking about breeding snakes, do your research, like figure everything out that you can possibly figure out before you're putting snakes in the same cage together.
Right.
But the two biggest things that I think people don't expect, one, short tails will dehydrate even with a water dish in there. They're very stubborn when they're babies, and so sometimes they prefer to stay hidden and not come out and drink, which is why we keep them wet. So that way they're constantly sitting in a source of water. All they literally have to do is open their mouth and they can drink, because they will literally die 3 inches away from a full water dish of dehydration. And they don't all do that, but it's definitely frequent enough to where, you want to keep them wet for a while. And then the second thing is that really separates them from other snakes is the period of time between hatch to first shed. Most other species are gonna shed some shed as they're coming out, some shed up to 2 weeks after hatch, but short tails are 3 to 6 months. And so that throws a lot of people off because they're like, oh, I'm waiting to feed until they have their first shed. I'm like, that thing's going to be dead if you do that. Like they're not going to shed. I had some shed this year, the earliest I've ever had, and it was like 2.5 months. But typically 3 to 6 is pretty standard.
So Matt, I just asked Dan a good question that could bridge right over to your situation because, for the most part, anyone who gets into any species could run into some complications or run into a situation where they're like, holy fuck, what do I do? Right. So Dan was just talking about, how important it is to keep certain babies, if not all babies, over water. How's it been for you, man? Like, obviously you have a good amount of clutches under your belt now. What is it that you do when it comes to having these fresh hatchlings? What has worked for you? Let's kind of get into that.
First off, sorry about that, man.
You're good. Don't get all Southern on us. We don't need an apology. Just go. Come on.
Wow. Dan's Southern too, by the way.
Dan doesn't say sorry. Dan doesn't say sorry for shit. He's Madman Dan. Okay, let's go.
It's true.
He said, let's go. What the fuck? Repeat the question.
Oh my God. Son of a bitch. Okay.
See, I'm not that Southern.
Okay. No, listen.
What's been my hardships?
No. It's not. That's not what I said at all. No. Calm down. Okay. What has it been like for you as far as establishing the clutches that you've had under your belt so far? Dan was talking about dehydration and keeping them over water. What is it that you do?
I definitely don't keep them over water. What I've learned is, to be honest, dude, what's worked for me is and it's so funny to say it, sphagnum moss. It's spelled
Sphagnum, bro. Sphagnum.
Sphagnum.
It's funny to say it because
You don't have to say the H. You don't have to say the H.
Sphagnum. But that don't make sense though because you have to spell it.
No, but okay, listen, there's a lot of things that like you shouldn't have to like there's a lot of fucking letters and words that make no sense, but you don't need to pronounce it.
It's just called sphagnum moss.
Sphagnum moss. Sphagnum.
Wow. I've been calling it. I've been emphasizing the H ever since I started using it.
You call it Shakespeare and shit.
Do you go in the drawer and get yourself a knife?
I fucking hate you, Dan.
I'm just curious,
dude, that
I do. And I cut my Bologna with it.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Holy shit, that was great. But good example.
Fucking exactly. Anyway, yeah, back to some serious shit.
That was great.
This is getting out of hand. All right, so I gotta be. I apparently need to be a little bit more quiet. I need to be monotone like Dan.
There you go.
I need to talk. Let's get to the topic already, please.
Jesus fucking Christ, man. I start them off on the moss. My first clutch my first clutch was the absolute worst. Dude, I was blessed with that second clutch of Curtis's because every fucking one of them ate. While B's clutch, she's the VPI, fucking T-positive albino matrix from Tracy that I got through Richard Jones, Tony Jones Reptiles, or Richard Jones Reptiles. He's Tony Jones. He's dead now, unfortunately. He died of COVID. Sucks, but yeah, that's where B came from. And Tracy bred her, sent her to him, and he was like, man, I just don't really have any need for it, and legit sold me her for like $200. And she was, huge when I got her, and I don't really know what it was, but a lot of the babies didn't eat. I ended up having to, I've got one, and you got to think, this was like almost a year and a half now. Fuck, I don't remember when that was, but the VPI T-Pause Chanel, I named that bitch Chanel because she's designer shit as far as I'm concerned. She just started eating pups, dude. And you know what? I want to take. I've done this before, but I reached out to Dan, and I was like, dude, I've assist fed her, and she's, she'll take them sometimes. And he said, try giving her best information I have ever gotten multiple times. And he doesn't care to fucking give it to you, is fucking Dan. You know what I mean? He said, try giving her something bigger than you think she could eat. And I'll be goddamned if this bitch didn't fucking eat that shit. And has been going strong since. Shed twice. I mean, about to be moved up finally after a year and a half from the fucking shoebox tub you see over there. I mean, I'd show her to you that she just ate.
That's real interesting, Dan. So, like, when did you realize like offering a bigger meal is like kind of what does the trick sometimes?
I don't remember who talked to me about it, but it was probably even before I was breeding short tails with ball pythons. Now, first of all, one of the reasons that a lot of us will start with like, live mice or live mouse hoppers as opposed to rats with a lot of species, it's just because they're more active, they move more, they catch the snake's attention a little bit better.
I've never had a problem on any of mine starting on rat pups. I breed my own rats. I mean, dude, the martyrs, the martyr babies, they all instantly, every one. I don't have one of them that won't eat. I mean,
yeah, the one I have from you, like you said, you weren't sure if she would take frozen thawed. She hammered it right away and has never.
I'm sure with the proper temperature, but I mean, I'd never tried it. I imagine I could try it. You know how to tickle their tail just to get them to fucking.
I don't baby my snakes, man. I am that you'll go to bed hungry parent. Like I let them know, here it is. You take it or leave it. I don't care. I'll be on to the next one. So that works for me. I don't have to tempt my frozen thawed feeders.
Instead of children.
My mom was like, my mom was on that Italian level. You go to bed starving.
Oh yeah, me too. Yep.
She was the same level. And I would fucking go to sleep. I would go down to the kitchen like a ninja when they were all knocked out. And I would say, all right, no problem. I'll just fucking go ham on some Lunchables and just get my ass kicked the next day.
Yeah, no, mine.
Goddamn hot pockets.
If you didn't eat that for dinner, that was your breakfast in the morning on the table waiting for you. So, you started to learn to eat it because you didn't want that shit cold in the morning.
All right. So one thing I want to kind of tap in real quick with you guys, as far as, especially you, Matt, you left the ball python market, which how some of the fuckers are making certain money in that. What is it like as far as?
Yeah, they're like racing Ferraris and shit, and have trailers that cost more than like a lot of shit to fucking haul their Porsches in. That's wild. You saw it, dude. I mean, like,
I was there.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you got to realize, dude. But I mean, a lot of these people, you know, like I'm not even gonna front. You know what I mean? My grandfather, when I went to him with the business idea, I was like, "Yo, here's the idea." Blah 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 blah. I was still into ball pythons. We fucking like. I didn't make that very good of decisions with the only goddamn contribution I got. You know, a lot of people get help and they pay that back and make great decisions. I made horrible decisions.
How?
And bought into projects that like cost fucking crazy money.
What projects though? Like, can you specify, please?
I mean, I'm not. I mean, you know, dude, my whole ball python world got wrecked, and I was just done with it. You know what I mean? I would rather just respectfully leave it at that, as far as that's concerned. Like I took on someone's collection that, you know, brought a lot of shit in, and like, dude, I just had to fucking you know, back to the ball.
That's not the ball python's fault because you bought somebody's collection who happened to fuck you.
No. I didn't buy nobody's shit. They left it here. But I mean, like, yeah, you know, for real, that's not their fault. But I mean, I just it wasn't what I was about, dude. I mean, I would rather work my job, like Dan said, as far as that shit goes, and, you know, do my orange head shit, you know? I mean,
I honestly don't think it's possible without like anything else. You know, talk about the take money to make money. If you come into this with enough money, yes, you can be successful and make money. Especially, you know, you look at somebody like Justin, who has a little bit of a mindset for business and things like that. So he took what he had and ran with it and created something sustainable. But like, unless you have that, or unless you cut a lot of corners, it's really, really hard to get to a level where it's a sustainable business and very sick. Yeah, I mean,
you got to have hustle. I mean, you got to have hustle. And I want to fucking take 1 second and say, I remember when MJ fucking put out, what was that, top 10 Instagram breeders fucking shit, like back in the day, bro, like type shit. We jumped off the porch, and you want to know about hustle.
Listen, people don't know I came into this shit so broke, poor.
Bro, you just could. I mean, we don't even have to go there, but I mean, we both come from the same place, and we turn shit around, and we do what we have to do. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? I was there at the jump. I remember messaging you one time and being like, "Hey, so I see you use newspaper. Do you ever notice if it rubs off on their belly scales?" And you said, "Hell no." And I was like, "Okay, all right, bro, take it easy, man." And like, dude, every fucking one of these short tails are on fucking newspaper now. You know why? Because my goddamn papa brings them in Walmart bags for free, and I mean, it works. You know what I mean?
I got piles over there. I got to go through still that my friend dropped off when I was away. I got a whole drawer of paper.
I had to take the fucking new manager aside the other day, because there's a new manager at the Smart & Final here, and I've been at the Smart & Final for years. That's where I get my newspaper. And so she tried to embarrass me at the thing. She's like, "Sir, are you taking our newspaper?" And I'm like, "Excuse me?" She's like, "Are you taking our newspaper?" And I looked her in the eye. I was like, "I'm not taking anybody's newspaper. Like, no, that's not me." And then after I checked out, I told her, "I'm like, listen, I got a deal made here, lady. Don't ever embarrass yourself asking me if I'm taking your newspaper in front of people again." She looked at me like this.
Bitch, next time you come correct.
She's like, but she did have a point. She's like, just please don't take all of it.
Why not? What are you gonna do with it?
Okay, I will say, dude, okay, check this out. And God bless her. Her name's Melissa. She's awesome. Shout out to Melissa.
God bless Melissa. Bless her heart.
There was
I'm
this
a
one
Southern
time
blessing.
I was so high. It was night, and I was really low. Like I was really, really low. And for whatever reason, there was 2 slots full. Like slots were full, and the other slots were empty. And I don't know why I took those 2 full slots. Like I just I cleaned them out. So it was like noticeable. I'm pretty sure they filled it and was like, what the fuck? Where'd they just go? And I told myself, I was like, you should have just took one, you idiot. Like, why'd you take both? And like now you're like,
both, bro. I mean, if they're
but anyways, shout out to Melissa, I gotta say.
Shout out to Melissa. Thank you for not fucking calling the cops. You're good people.
My newspaper. Talk to Charles. Talk to Charles in operations. Okay, I'm good. That's all I gotta say.
So hey, how about fucking let's talk about this real quick. I'm not trying to steal anything from you, bro, but Elijah.
No.
Whoa.
Gangster.
Whoa.
Yeah, first podcast ever, bro. It took me a long time to get that guy out to speak, and it was he didn't even promote it. God bless him, but I was like, bro, do me a favor, put it on your page. He's like,
well, Dan didn't promote this shit either. He's lame as fuck.
I shared my story like 900 fucking times.
Bro, Dan shared the shit out of it, bro. Don't do that to Dan. Dan was all over
it. Whatever.
But
wow.
but listen, Elijah, you want to talk about somebody? You want to talk about somebody who even brought me to you guys? Like, listen, I was only keen on I can't say you, O'Malley, because I met you before you even got deep into the short tail game. But Dan was somebody after I got tapped in with Elijah on like, okay, who else is working with the black short tails? I'm upset. You know how I like the black shit, Dan. That sounds weird, but I'm just saying,
no judgment.
No, it ain't weird.
What's funny is because I had just missed out on a clutch that Dan had put out for availability, and I wanted one really bad. It was from his dark pairing, and I just missed out. And it makes sense because the following year there was nothing. You didn't pair that next year, and then that next year, so 2 years later, you had that same female lay again. Does that sound about right?
Probably.
Yes. No, but he didn't come off any that year. I was there at where you were that year, and I was like, Dan. And he said, man, I have people that are waiting for these. And and it was like, okay. All right, bro, that's cool. That's cool.
That doesn't sound like me. I'm usually much more rude than that.
Okay, I gotta tell you something that I heard that does not sound like you at all, Dan. And we're gonna go and clarify the whole meaning behind why the fuck this is a showdown. Like, why does this look aggressive? Why does it look like these two are gonna fuck each other up, right? And
we are.
Look how skinny I was back then, bro.
Photoshop. That was Photoshop. Shut up, bro. It's because of the dark. Don't try to act like you're fucking anorexic. You're still that skinny. Just relax, okay, guy. Don't get all hard on yourself. But when I
I'm pretty fantastic. I am pretty fantastic.
I was gonna say, I think you made us both look pretty good in that screenshot. Although I think I'm in the same shirt now. I'm in that fucking thing.
I should have sent you this. I have a picture of Dan on the couch with his hands down his pants, Al Bundy style. With I was gonna make a sticker.
So Dan, I can't help. Dan, let's talk about when I came to your table at Tinley and I said how I wanted to schedule this podcast. And I said, okay, man, it's about that time. You and O'Malley, and you said, hey, man, O'Malley's he's mad at me. I'm like, what? Mad at you? And you're like, yeah, man, he's upset. And so hold on, let me finish. I investigated and I straight went to Matt. I said, Matt, are you mad at Dan? Like, Matt, is this? And he's like, no, man. And of course, long story short, Matt's like, he's upset that I sold him snakes that bite. Is this the truth? Are you upset that he sent you snakes that are aggressive?
No, I'm not. I'm not upset, but I was going to look into acquiring another one. And I said, well, this one is a fucking cunt. So like, if that one's the same way, I don't need 2 that are like this. Tell
him the name.
Oh, so I named the snake the Countess, but I told him, I said, I no longer refer to her that way. She's the Cuntess now.
The Cuntess.
Because like, there's a difference between like a defensive animal that just gets scared, and then there's this thing that just like her whole day is brightened by the fact that she has a chance to get me.
Oh
And
my! Those are the worst.
she just sits there and she waits and she waits.
Yeah.
You're fucking stressing me out. I gotta
I
change
can-
that.
I can stick my hand in her cage. If it's out of her range, she's not fucking moving. The moment it gets within range, she's like, "Oh yeah, I got him." But the whole reason behind it isn't because I care. I don't care. I've been bit by a million snakes. Like, it doesn't phase me at all. The only snake in this house I don't want to get bit by is my big male white lip. That's it. Anything
God
else, I
bless
don't
you.
care.
God,
But tell
hey,
me-
God, hey,
but
hey,
explain-
God bless you, bro. God bless you, brother. Go ahead, Matt. What'd you say?
Tell them about the father. Explain the father, and explain why it might be somewhat defensive. You know who Sosa is, just like everybody else. I mean, that's
I don't know his temperament.
that's from the 2004 original Bloodline. I mean, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean,
okay, but here, okay. My biggest like confusion on all this is, for instance, like these bloodlines. I don't give a fuck if Socrates or one of my best friends has something that I want. I don't care how aggressive it is. I want that shit in my fucking collection. So why, like, you can calm this shit down.
Dan breeds for temperament. There's a lot of see in the blood python community. There's people that breed for, like, I mean, and fuck, I love the motherfucker, dude. He's helped me out so much and been so cool to me. But Kevin fucking Martyr doesn't breed for temperament. He breeds the reddest to the reddest, the nicest to the nicest. Oh, this one has a weird head stamp. Let's breed it to the other one that has a weird head stamp. You know, I mean, but
look at temperaments of animals that go from being chilled to being shipped, and they're the most meanest motherfuckers on earth. Like, there's a lot of things that could have happened in between even shipping, and animals go through things. You know what I mean?
Shipping,
but they,
so it's all nature.
But they could be broken too, like broken back to where they could be chill again. Like, I don't look at that like, okay, it's mean, it's fucked for its whole life. Like,
so you can do that, but the thing is that every vertebrate out there has an inherent personality type that they're born with. So yes, you can mold them to a certain level, but that on a genetic level is what's going to pass on. It doesn't matter how nice you make them. It matters how they are inherently. That's what's going to pass on genetically in those codes. And so that doesn't mean every single baby. It doesn't mean every single baby that you hatch out of that thing. Just like a person can have 6 kids, 3 of them can be absolute juvenile delinquents and 3 of them can be wonderful human beings. There's different combinations, but over time, just like any other genetic that we can physically see, if you focus on temperament and you make your pairings based on that stuff, you will see the results in it. Like, for instance, we talked about earlier, I have 80 babies this year. One baby is a piece of shit. The rest of them are all great. And so,
but that's because he's bred the nicest to the nicest for that long.
Generations, yeah.
Yes, I mean, and that's how this works. For anyone that wants knowledge on short tails, and I've learned this in just the short amount of time that I've bred because of the fucking martyr clutch. There's some in here right now that I can like go over there and fucking pick up. None of my holdbacks I can do that to. You know what I mean?
Those are the ones getting those pretty genes he's going for, and it comes with that attitude, you know?
It does, and that's it. You know, and we go back to what we said originally. Who are we selling our snakes to?
A lot of people want pets.
I mean, and I mean, any one of those orange heads, I would have sold to anyone, as long as they understood how to take care of it. What it was going in, realizing it was coming from a fucking shoebox tub to it can't go into a goddamn, you know, you need to have something set up. I mean, especially like Dan, bro, and fucking goddamn MJ, bro. You know how much time I've put into this orange head shit, bro. And like what I've invested into it. Like, I mean,
respectfully, yes, I do.
I mean, dude, I'm not going to just let that shit go to anybody. I mean, you know, so I need to know you know where it's coming from. That's why anytime I ship something, I say, this is what it's been on. This is what it's been in. You know, so what's coming to you, man. You can't just put it in a fucking fish tank and be like, all right, here's your bearded dragon.
To tie in a point you made earlier, MJ, you asked about Rich Crowley. So Rich is definitely an OG with snakes and
With
animals
much respect.
I knew it.
But he wrote the book, A Passionate Journey with Short Tails. Yeah, and so I just acquired 2 animals from Rich. We actually made a trade at the Tinley show. Now they're short tails. I've owned and bred and whatever, probably well over 1,000 short tails, probably a lot more than that. But I still asked Rich, like, hey, what are they feeding on? How are they handling this? You know, still ask basic questions, because no matter how many short tails I've kept, those short tails were raised in Rich's home the way Rich does things. And so if I bring them in here and do things totally different, then I'm going to get a different response out of them than he's been getting. And so the best way to kind of bridge the gap of bringing new animals into a new space is to control as much as you can control. I can't control the way Rich picked them up versus how I picked them up, my body temperature to Rich's body temperature, how I smell, how he smells, how his house smells, how my house smells. But as far as temperature, humidity, as far as enclosure size, substrate, all that kind of stuff, you can mimic a lot of things and get it very, very close, so that even if there are a lot of changes thrown at the animal, you're limiting the amount of them and the potential stress level for that. And then at the end of that, to tie in on the temperament thing, this is what I will say, all of us that have kept a fair amount of snakes. If you're in a rush and you're trying to get your snakes clean as fast as you can, because you know you've got to be somewhere or whatever, and you have 5 animals that you can reach right in there, grab, they're not going to fight you, grab and put them in a holding bin, clean and get out of there. And then you have that one animal that's a piece of shit and really going to give you a run for your money. When you're pressed for time, those nicer animals are going to get your attention because it's easier to fly through them. And so even when you don't mean to, that nasty animal always eventually gets a little bit less care. And then sometimes you create.
True, bro. So true.
Bro, God.
So if we're breeding animals that are
Dan
somebody
just
else's
dropped
care,
the fucking bomb.
like,
holy shit.
I have a kid right now that I'm talking to on Facebook Messenger that got a snake that somebody told him I produced, which I didn't. And I know that I didn't because it's an ivory and I haven't produced ivories in years. But anyhow, the person that bought this snake, it bit her one time and she got rid of the animal because she's like, I can't do this. And it's a baby and or a young animal. But that's the reality. Even when we talk to these customers and they say, oh yeah, I'm ready for this, I'm ready for this, I'm ready for this, that first bite could change everything for them. Some people just don't handle it well. It changes how they approach the animal. And now all of a sudden what was just a one-off defensive swing becomes a habit. And the animal starts to be on the defensive all the time because the person now changes up their approach and the animal is thinking along with them like, well, why is it changing? Why are they nervous? I should be nervous. And so the nicer animals I can produce out of the gate that are more predictable with behavior patterns, with how they handle, how they're being kept in captivity and all that stuff, to me, that puts that animal in the best possible position to get taken care of for the rest of its life. Dude, so that's why that's important to me.
This fucking guy just nailed it. God damn it, man. Here's the
thing.
Dude. Dan, check this out, dude.
I'm such a piece of shit. I'm a fucking piece of shit.
I mean, I don't feel like a piece of shit. Go ahead, Dan.
No, I was just going to say he's in a Dodger hat, so of course.
Oh, shut the fuck up. What an asshole. Matt, take the hat off. I told you not to wear the hat right now.
I got another one. Don't worry, dude. Jesus Christ, I'm ready. I got the Phillies on. We're going.
Phillies. I want the Phillies. Why do you want New York? Can we go for the Phillies? Come on.
This is also the fall edition. I'm just saying there's leaves inside the fucking brand. Dude. Wow. Special.
Are there even leaves in Philadelphia?
Yes.
I don't think it's a tree there anywhere.
There's needles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of,
I had a good topic. Hold on. What were we just talking about before this? I want to lose it.
Go.
We discussed the snake temperament and how they get cared for. We discussed asking people how they set them up to set them up the same. I don't know what you were going for.
Fuck, I don't know. What are you gonna say, Matt? I'm fucked. I had to say something, and of course the hat, the whole hat, fucking fucked it all up. But what's going on,
dude? I'm a fucking magician. Give me a break, dude. I can't work. It's fucking A, dude. I will say something about this that I have noticed personally. When you're moving them up, what? Can you hear me? Is everything cool?
Yeah,
I don't. I'm getting some feedback. I'm just trying to see if it's my.
I can hear you, Matt. You're good. It's because
it's fucking
dying. His phone's dying. That's what it is, unfortunately.
I hope not. It hasn't given me a message.
Okay, I would exit. I would exit out or come back in if it's giving you feedback. But
well, let me see. I just plugged in my headphones, so I thought maybe the battery's getting low on them. I don't know.
Are you good? Can you hear us now?
Yeah. Now I'm not getting feedback. So
good.
Right, cool.
Feedback's good.
What were you saying, Matt?
I had one thing I have noticed about fucking when it's see, there's such a tricky fucking species when it comes to moving them up in tub size. From what I've learned, you just have to make sure they're ready for the extra space. Because I've had one go completely fucking normal as fuck to a son of a bitch when I moved it up from, because I'm still that dude. I keep them in 28 quarts and move them to the V70s, but I mean, that jump from the V70, even, I make sure they have a hide. I make sure there's multiple layers of newspaper. I mean, but I have noticed with some of them that jump from tub size can change their attitude. What do you think about that, Dan?
So I've definitely seen it. I've seen it go both ways too. I've seen a snake put in too small of a space that gets very, very defensive. And I've seen snakes put in too large of a space get very, very defensive. But I also feel, once again, that ties into where I'm at for breeding for temperament. I typically don't have any issues bumping myself up.
That breaks down to just the sheer personality of the snake. Fuck, a ball python can get upset when you move it around.
Yep. Yeah. No. Any snake can. So, to me, once again, like, part of my temperament thought is, how well does this animal do in captivity? How well does it handle stress? How well, so all those factors are always going around in my head with my holdbacks. So yeah, I want something that eats strong. Like, I will never, ever, 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 ever breed an animal that I had to assist feed or that I had to do anything screwy with. Like, I want animals that come pounding food out of the egg. Bing, bang, boom. That's an important thing to me. Especially because when you put those animals through stress and transition, if they're already a poor feeder, that default is going to kick right in, and they're going to be a poor feeder now because, they're freaked out about this change or whatever.
Well, you and me both know that also anytime you ship an animal, I've got animals from Tracy Barker that she sent me pictures of bites from that I can just straight open the tub and pick up. Whereas I have also an animal from Sis that, I have to fucking pick up with a hook. I got to open the goddamn tub with a hook. And she was like, well, here it was fine. And I was like, well, it's not fucking fine here. I'm like, I've sent her videos of it. And she's like, my God. And I'm like, yeah.
So I've seen it for sure.
I remember what it was now. Sorry, what it was that I wanted to speak on, and it was a whole fucking, like, goddamn, dude. The last time I remember having snakes that I did not want to fucking take care of was when I had that group of 9 white lips. I had 9 white lips, okay, and literally, and I'm talking they're adults. I got out of
a fucking nightmare.
I got out of control after a while, okay. But what I'm saying is, there was a point in time where fucking, I would say only 2 out of that fucking group of 9 I admired looking at and taking out because they were calm for whatever reason. The other ones, bro, literally, they would be the last thing on my list, and it would be fucked up because I would forget about them. Like, I would forget, like, holy shit, you purposely neglected this because you wanted to do the rest, and then you thought you did the rest and everything was done, but then you go back and you go, oh my god, you fucking forgot. And I hated that I did that with these animals because how much they would ruin my fucking day, bro. Like I'm just like, bro, like,
I mean,
you know
it takes a fucking long.
hold on. The white lip python has the most teeth out of every python. Is that correct? Am I wrong or correct?
That's my understanding.
You bleed a
You
lot,
gotta
Matthew. You bleed a lot, son. It hurts. Sorry.
Yeah,
I
my southern male is like 8 or 9 feet. He's big. He's got a huge head because he's probably 20
Fuck
years
all
old.
that, dude. Fuck that.
It is absolutely fuck that. That's the only thing. And he almost got me before I went away on vacation. Not this time, but the past time. Am I
And
coming
you
across
keep,
clear?
you keep that shit because of the white on its lip, and that's it.
Well, I bought the animal with the intention to breed them, and then I ended up with 2 males. So I parted with the other male.
Sweet.
And to be honest with you, I love that animal, but I would love to see him go somewhere else. But it took him about 3.5 years to settle in here, and so I don't feel good about sending him at his age to another transition because I think it would either kill him or just be stressed for the rest of his life.
So he's grown, right? He's an adult, I'm assuming, right?
Oh yeah, he's probably 20 years old, I would bet.
You got.
Jesus Christ!
Put him to a female, bro. Find somebody with a good sized female, and let that. If he's gonna go out, he should go out fucking. I feel like that's how it should be.
Well, that's why I got rid of the other male, because the other male was a lot less of a stress case. He was actually super chill. He's flighty in his cage, like basically every white lip ever is. But once he's out, he's really cool. And so I found somebody that had a trio of southern females, and I think they had 1 male or something like that. So it worked out. He went down there. They love him. He's done great down there. But I mean, he was one I let my godson take outside. He used to carry him around. I mean, I wouldn't do that with the other white lip. But the other one almost got me before I went away on vacation. I was cleaning all my snakes. And once again, like we said, what do you wait to do till last is the one that fucking gives you the most grief. So I have a shift box for him, which makes life a lot easier for both of us. It's definitely improved his level of security and me not getting
That's such an important thing to have that we need to express.
Yeah.
Something you can put them in while you're cleaning their tub. You don't need to,
this stays in his cage at all times. Yeah, so this stays in his cage at all times. It's his hide. And I have a PVC clean out in there, 4-inch, so he can get in and out of there, and I can screw that top on and close that. But he doesn't like to retreat. So if he's out, I have to literally fight him into there because he will not go in on his own unless he's already in there. Which usually he just.
What is it about their movements? It's like so sudden and like it's like what the fuck? It's the most spazzy thing. It's violent and it's so like okay. And here's the thing, like. I had to learn the hard way because as I got to the point when I had 9 white lips, I realized that like, okay, I need to put them in their own like I can't like not like a ball python I could put on the table and what a good day. No, those motherfuckers like they're gone, like they take off. But like when you're like you said Dan, when you like you said when you're on a serious time crunch and you're like fuck, I need to go. You don't want to waste time with shit like that, bro. Like it's unfortunate. But you got to go, and you're going to take care of the most luxurious, nicest ones you have before the psychotic ones. And I didn't feel okay with that, bro. And that's why, as much as it hurt me, like I only have 2 fucking my pair. I have my male and female northerns that are going to be paired up this year, but they're my most compatible, fucking most ones I enjoy handling. But even to this day, they're the ones that spaz out on me still. Like they'll still they'll still just be like. And they'll just take off, and it's like, what the fuck? What happened? Like, what happened?
Fuck that.
Or they'll turn around and just bite you, and they'll try to wrap, and it's like, what the fuck? And you did nothing. You know what I mean? It's nuts.
They love to get you in like the back of the elbow or the back of the leg if you're not careful.
I got my back fat once. Oh, it was the worst, bro.
Oh my fucking god!
I know I'm not meant for tramp stamps. I'll never get a tramp stamp tattoo ever. I'm not Dave Levison.
Oh, dude, that's like so bad. Yeah, I don't know why that was a thing because it was it's apparently horrible.
Okay, but guys, can we talk about if anyone should be scared to come into the short tail game, like just because how niche it is? I mean, especially people who have ball pythons. And I encourage, here's the thing, guys, if somebody's good at one thing, I think you should dabble in something else. Fucking put yourself to the limit. That's just me, right? So I feel like ball python people are getting into chondros. They're getting into different stuff, hog noses. But let's just say somebody really wants to go in on the short tail game. Should they be cautious, you guys think? If anyone wants to talk about that first?
I think they should do some research as far as what they plan on doing. I think they should. I think they should do some research as far as the bloodline they're looking for, what they're wanting to do. I mean, you can't really say bloodline when it breaks down to like a golden eye, I guess. You can, but I mean, I think you should do an enormous amount of research and see if you're willing to do that. Like, to be honest, and Dan, man, I'll fucking tell you in front of it. I don't even know how many motherfuckers are in here or who's chatting or what. I can't see any of that. I don't know if you can, but.
No, I see there's a chat button, but I've been afraid to hit it in case it like kicked me out or did something.
It kicked me out last time, so I'm not going to hit it. So me and you'll just talk. But I mean, like, you know, you know me, bro. I don't want to fucking just breed shit to breed shit. But I mean, like, that defeats the purpose of everything we do. I mean, and man,
Listen. I want to know right now who's like the Canova of the short tail game. Like, who is it out there that you guys feel are making probably the most profitable years off their clutches that you would say?
Well, see,
Nick Bettini and Karen Norris.
But see, like, I don't know, like when you say most profitable, like what do you mean? Do you just mean dollars and cents? Because to me, profit for me is the holdbacks I'm making.
I mean, yeah, you got a point. Well, what are they breeding? That's what it breaks. See, that's why these old school fools, I love them because I'm a tattooer. Because they're like, wait, we got to break that down. I mean, it's like, but you do have to break it down. What are they breeding? What are you trying to do?
Because if I wanted to, I could get 30 big blood python females that are questionable quality. I could get a few males, throw them together. I could pump out a bunch of $200, $300 babies, and I could make a great profit. But how am I making what we have better? How am I putting those animals into the best situations to succeed? Because once again, the same thing with the animals that are a pain in the ass that you might take less care of. When you spend a lot of money on an animal, that animal is your priority. Whether you love, I have my McLot's python. It's a $300 snake. I love that snake, but I have $2,500 snakes that, like, that's a lot of money to me to have tied up into something. And like every time I go to bed, I'm thinking about, I got a $2,500 animal in there. Does it have water? Like, and it's not that I don't care about that $300 snake the same way, but you just, at some point, if money matters to you, and it matters to me because I have to put food on the table, you do think about that stuff, and you do prioritize some of your more expensive animals because of the fear. If you lose one of those, it can cripple everything that you're doing.
I'm saying is there's a lot of people creating little mini personalities of what they're doing. Like, for instance, Canova is leader of the ball python industry, in my opinion, right? And that's not to take away from anyone else out there who's killing the ball python game.
Yeah, obviously. Justin's run it for years.
But then you have him dabbling. Then you have somebody like Justin who's really, like, he's not going to talk about it much, but I know, and I don't care. I'll say it. He's really going hard in the chondro game, in the, you know, and that's like kind of random. You know, he's going from ball pythons to chondros, and he's really passionate about it, right? But what would that do to the short tail community? Like, let's just say if it was the short tail community that Justin's like, I want whatever I'm doing here. Not that he's trying to do that with the chondros. I'm just saying. Hold on. I'm saying theoretically, right? Let's just say he was to come into the short tail game or blood game like this. What would that do to the market altogether, you feel like, Dan or Matt, either one?
So it's going to depend on the mentality. And the one thing that I can say, I don't pay a lot of attention to the ball python market because I'm not in it. But the one thing I can say for guys like Justin or Ozzy is that they have a vision and they're trying to perfect what they're working with and take it to the next level. They're not throwing any two snakes together. And that's where you get a problem when you have people come over from the ball community. A lot of them are so geared towards numbers of production, and it's kind of an issue.
And what it is.
Not an issue, but like a while ago, Morph Market did that whole thing where they basically made you like a financial portfolio on what you've done on the site. And all the ball python breeders were big dick swinging like, I sold $10,000. I sold $25,000. I said, okay, that's what is impressive to them is that it's not, hey, you know what? I helped this kid, you know, who was 8 years old and their mother and father wanted them. They love snakes. They wanted to get them their first snakes. I helped them, you know, get established and, you know, spark a hobby for the rest of their life. Or, you know, I screened all these buyers.
Dan, I've done that for children with ball pythons. You can't say ball python people aren't doing that.
No, I'm not saying. I'm making a general statement that all these guys, like, you just see them all going back and forth posting how much money they made as opposed to what they're doing to help the hobby,
You're right.
to promote these bloodlines versus this, or how they're, you know, okay, this is a pastel. Like, take Kevin, for instance, with his lemon line of pastels. They look different than other lines of pastel. You can see the work that went into getting them there. Whatever people want to say about him or whatever, that's not the point of this. The point is just taking something for granted and just care about the genetic, but he took it and said, you know what, I'm tired of these snakes fading and turning brown. I want to keep that yellow into adulthood. How can we do that? What animals do we need to take? And that's what I wish more people would do, is focus on whatever you love, make more of it, and really try to perfect what you're going after. Have a vision. You know, you're going to make some changes along the way as things happen. You're going to go, you know what, I really thought I was chasing this pattern, but this came out and I kind of like it this way, so let me take it over here. Things will change, but have a direction in mind. And, you know, your goal to me should always be the animals that you're going to hold back from that clutch. Like, that's what you should be pairing up. Every pairing you're making, what are you keeping to
it
make
needs
your
to be
collection
better than the parents.
Right. And then please stop dumping your fucking parents as soon as they no longer become profitable to you.
Yes.
That shit makes me insane. These are living, breathing creatures, and especially an animal that's been with you for 10 or 12 years and established to your routine, your home, and now you just want to ship that animal out overnight, and all of a sudden, you know, and there's some animals that handle it better than others.
It took me a good 6 months before I can comfortably reach in Sosa's cage. I mean, right now, I wish I could pick the phone up, but MJ said don't pick the phone up. But he's like, he's literally right here, but he's covered with a blanket. He has his own blanket that gets put over his cage because in my opinion, he has too much room. Totally runs off ambient. It's right now because I turned the heater off because it's 80 degrees, 64% humidity. So, I mean, dude's fine. He hasn't eaten. But I mean, dude, I lost where I was going with that.
It goes back to their inherent personality. No matter how old he gets, like, that's always going to be his default. So if there's things stressing him out,
well, that's what sucks about it, is that, you know, I mean, thank you, Dan. It took fucking that long to establish a fucking trust relationship. You know what I mean? He knows I'm going to take his fucking hideout first. There's a routine, dude. These motherfuckers,
they're not stupid animals.
They're not stupid at all. And I can tell you, they're not stupid animals at all. And one thing that made me miss, before the whole group of white lips, I had a huge group. Remember a group of short tails and bloods? Remember that, Matt? Remember I had.
Oh, bro, yeah.
I had some. What was it? Lilac. What was it? Lilac.
Lilies, lilacs. If you remember, fucking Miguel had some back in the day, a long time ago.
And the thing is some of these, and this is because I kept them too hot. Some of these were so mean, you know what I mean? Once I adjusted that temperature and I realized, okay, you don't fucking keep them like a ball python, you idiot, right? And that's just me not doing my research and going so fast into something. Everything changed, and once I saw their whole demeanor changed, I was like, holy shit! Like there are ways of adjusting these animals.
Dude, bloods and short tails, it can be a half a degree difference. They go from sweetheart to I'm gonna eviscerate your entire life. When they are too hot, they are mean. Like I hate the heat.
They rather be too cold than too hot for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They don't handle it. Every single person that reaches out to me, my blood's so mean. That's the first thing we discuss. What's your temperature? Oh, their hot spot's 88. Turn it the fuck down.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Did you not pay attention to any fucking thing I said to you? God damn.
I got a breeding question for both of you. What is it that you guys do temperature wise for your guys' adults when it comes to breeding?
Nothing.
So what is it that you keep it? Can we talk about temps and ambient right now that you guys keep year-round?
Dan keeps his room ambient. I keep my room, obviously what I said when I lost track of everything I was doing, so I'm not going to do that again. But I also keep a hot spot of like 82.5. So obviously in the tub, when the tub heats up, that's going to be about 84 probably, if not, but they're fed
even after ovulation, you're not shooting after over 84, or how's that working?
I don't do a fucking thing, dude. Let's see. The probe's at 82 and it's set at 82.
Even at night.
Yeah, so I don't night drop my stuff. I don't drop mine seasonally. I don't do anything in my short tail room.
I don't fuck with the lights. I don't do none of that shit.
No.
What about food cycling?
I feed my females more if I'm wanting that, because I'm thinking about breeding B again, and I know it's only been a year, but she's keeping her weight. She's doing fine. But then again, like Dan, I'm thinking the market shit, I don't know. I wouldn't say there's, but to answer your question again, I want to breed this animal, but it goes back to the market. And it being like, is it worth really doing it? Am I wrong, Dan? Is it worth really doing it, or do you think?
It depends on your space situation. Can you sit on those babies for a year or two if you have to, or longer?
I get that, but it's a stressful situation because
I would love to be optimistic, and there's a lot of people that's like, oh, everything's cyclical, it'll go back. To me, this rundown is a little bit different, and definitely different than any I've ever seen in the snake market. So I would love to be optimistic, but I'm not right now, and I think if it does bounce back, it's going to be a while. I think there's so much going on.
I feel that. That's kind of where I'm at with it, dude. Like, there's one project I'm planning on doing, and that's really it.
We're gonna see when I have those Sumatrans ready. If those, I have people like yourself that are on a list for those. If those don't move, that's going to be a real panic button for me, because those are like recession proof.
Oh yeah. Yo Gotti, son. Yo Gotti.
if those don't sell, I'm not pairing up a fucking snake for a while. If those sell, that means at least we're not in super dire straits. And then I have some other stuff I'm going to release soon. We'll see how that goes.
I'm sure they'll sell.
I fully expect them to. And listen, don't get me wrong. If they don't, I don't care because I would keep every single one of them. But that's just, I never have a problem selling those ever. And people still hit me up every day for those. So that's the only thing that I think is recession proof. And that's why people get so mad at me for holding stuff back. But I can't produce enough to make people happy. So I need more animals to be able to do that. And to me, like you said with your Sumatrans, you know, you can trust those snakes with just about anybody because they put up with so much shit. They take everything so well.
They're, in my opinion, and I said this on multiple podcasts. I've said this to MJ. I've said it to Cusco, whoever, whatever, all these other people. They are the next step from ball python to a bigger snake. You don't want to fucking house a Burmese python? Cool. Guess what? There's an adult right fucking here.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
You know what I'm saying?
If you can handle a blood python or a fucking short tail, you need to just chill,
bro. But I mean, but when one of them is a good bloodlined animal, I mean, dude, it changes everything. I mean, and when they're chill, dude, I'm telling you, an orange head Curtis that is handled every day. Maybe not every day, maybe, you know, a couple times a week, whatever, however you want to do it yourself to personalize yourself with that animal. I mean, dude, that's the next step. I mean, you know, they're the smallest of the short tail species out of the three. Well, there's technically four apparently from Rich Crowley's book, but the three that we know of and have examples of, you know, which we're not even going to get into because I don't even know how long we have, but there's difference in Curtis. There's difference in northern and southern. You know, there's difference in reverse stripe and stripe, you know. There's a lot of difference, man. I mean, we're going to go down that rabbit hole. We better have some fucking chocolate and some goddamn tequila because, I mean, we're going to fucking really get into it. I mean, like, dude, there's different.
Is chocolate your code word for cocaine or something? What the fuck would chocolate do?
I don't know, but I had an edible like 40 minutes ago, so that should be kicking in soon.
Okay. So,
that's the coolest thing that anybody said all night.
Now listen. I have a huge topic right now that I want to hear from both of you. And Dan, let's start with you, of course, just because of your experience over Matt on this.
He's coming back to that versus shit, man.
No. Listen, he'll respect this.
No, I'm just rambling, and he's like, Matt, shut the fuck up.
That too. I'm just kidding. No. Hey, no, listen. The holdback game. What's the holdback game all about? Versus people, even though you have wait lists and you have stuff that you can get rid of, when you know that you should really hold on to something. I mean, at this point, are you rather get the money for it if it's going to the right hands, or what's the holdback game all about for you right now, Dan? And then I want to hear it from you.
So the holdback thing shifted a lot for me this year because at the beginning of the season, I paired up the animals I wanted to pair up. And each pairing that I'm pairing up, there's a goal that I have in mind for that. So I wrote myself a list of I'm going to keep 3 babies from this clutch. I'm going to keep 2 from this one, 4 from this one, whatever it is. And then stuff started hatching. And I'm like, fuck my life. Like, you know, it's a good problem to have, but I'm getting so much further with my projects now that a clutch of 15 babies, well, all of a sudden there's 11 or 12 I want to keep. And it's like, I can't.
You totally hatched some fire Borneos this year. You made me want to get back into Borneos, you piece of shit. And that's
so yeah. So I kept a lot more back than I wanted to, and and I still haven't even decided on some clutches what I'm letting go of and keeping yet. But yeah, so I definitely kept more than I want to. And right now, even though I don't have a lot of optimism with the economy, I'm trying to keep myself in position to where if it does bounce back, I'm ready to just fire off and go. But you also have to feed all these animals. And so if I don't breed stuff this year, I still have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars all year feeding all these animals. Let's say even if I have 100 animals to feed, and even if I'm feeding, once a month, which obviously I feed more than that, especially smaller stuff. But let's just say as an example, you're feeding 100 animals. Well, now all of a sudden that's what, 1,200 meals. If a meal costs you $3, that's $3,600 just on food. That's not electric. That's not vet care. That's not paper towels, cleaning supplies, and that's a super low ball number.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's crazy, bro. You come see me, bro. It's worth the drive that you pay in gas. Hell, I'll give you every 2 weeks the goddamn fucking grow outs from the tubs. I've got 3 tubs in here. I've sent you videos. Come see me, dude. I'll give you rats.
Yeah.
Shit, I love you that much. I mean, damn.
So
yeah,
Matt,
well, talk to him about holdbacks. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab a couple of mine. I'll show before we get out of here.
Please do. Yeah, please do. Yeah. We got about 15 minutes before we wrap it up. But Matt, I want to hear it from you. What's the holdback game all about for you right now?
For the Curtis, it was the stripe, the cleanliness of the head, how high up the yellows were on the orange heads. The only holdback I have left from B's clutch is Chanel, who is the VPI stripe, T positive. As far as the holdbacks go from the martyr shit, I kept there two tri-stripes were produced. And if anybody wants to see it, you can go on Instagram. They just ate last night. I'm not about to pull these fucking snakes out. And plus, they're meaner than shit.
Okay, listen, Matt, I want to hook you up right now, okay? Because this is what Dan's trying to do. He's trying to fucking get this W on this fucking match right now. So he's trying to pull out some heat. Why don't you think right now what you could pull out so you can match it, okay? Because that's what's going to happen right now.
Bro,
Not
everything...
right
Everything just ate.
Oh, everything?
Bro, I mean, even the pollens. Look at the cards. All the cards are like right here. Everything just ate.
I believe you. Okay. Damn, it sucks, bro. You lost. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Hey, I'm Appalachian, bro. I'm used to taking the L.
No, listen, bro.
It's all right.
I just love where you're at right now, Matt. I got to tell you right now, bro, because, first off, thank you for being fucking one of my biggest supporters ever since back in the day to this point now. But when you post stuff in the Patreon fucking DMs and Instagram and you show us your productions and this orange head shit, bro, that's really coming to life, dog, like this is your stamp. Like this is a trademark of yours. Like, you know what I mean? It's
yeah. I've had people reach out, bro. I mean, I've had people reach out. They want the fucking the owner, the head curator of the zoo, and that oh god, Mike Ogle from Nirvana Reptiles, Matt Turner's friend. He runs the herpetology center here. We were supposed to do a not necessarily like a trade, but a dual breeding, and because things have kind of come to a halt for me because of a job change and everything else, we couldn't do it this year, which isn't a bad deal, but that's a killer. That alone is, a killer hookup. What do you got, Dan? Let's see it. Show me up. Win the match.
All right, let's do the show and tell. Hey, Dan, real quick, just so you know, I told Matt while you were away. I said, Matt, This is your time to pull out a lineup because he's gonna try to win the match with this. He's gonna undertake your ass with this fucking goddamn display. And he's like, everything ate, bro. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I'm like, all right. He admits defeat. So by the way, you win this match. Good job. Even before he even showed anything off, he admits defeat. So respect to Matt, but Matt, you lose. What do you have to show?
I'll turn the camera around, but
I don't want regurgitation. We'll wait for the next one, okay? I'm sorry. What do you have to show us, Dan?
My fucking God. Dan always wins. Look at that head. He's earned it.
Show us, Dan. Here we go. Take it over, Dan. What do you got? You're muted. Hey, unmute you. Hold on. Oh. Okay, go ahead. You're good. Go ahead.
You fucking muted me.
That was me. Go ahead. Take over, buddy.
So I've got 2 snakes from this pairing, and this was from Atlas to Callisto. So Atlas is the guy who's on my shirt here. That's the father to this. And this is the male that I kept from this clutch. Just super, super pretty animal. I gotta see where my thing is. Got kind of like, it's going to be a floppy Borneo in a second here because I'm holding it up in an unnatural position. But it's got almost like a honey ghost look to it, which is not in the lineage for this animal at all. And of course, like anytime you want to like show off their head, they don't want to do it. But just a really, really clean side swipe animal. Got a lot of stuff going on. Look forward to pairing him up. These guys change a lot. They haven't even had first sheds yet. Let me put this one back though, because he's like geeking the fuck out right now. I'll get his sister out, who'll probably geek out just as much, but we'll see.
What do you think of that, Matt? What do you think?
Well, I've got something. I mean, it didn't eat this last time. I've got a little something, but I mean, it's all about the head stamp on this one and the bloodline. So go ahead, Dan. Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
So this is a female from that same clutch that I kept. She's got like a really orange head, which never shows up on camera, and she's not really fired up right now. And that comes from her grandmother. And I didn't expect to see much of that expressed in this clutch, but I got a few animals that are like that. But just once again, really clean. I love the colors on this animal. Borneos do not photograph or video well, but you can see just super clean striping. And, you know, putting up with my shit right now pretty well, all things considered. And that's the thing that I try to explain to people where the temperament comes in. I don't handle this snake much at all. This is the first time she's probably been in a situation like this. I haven't had her on even my YouTube channel yet or anything, but still handle it pretty well. And that's where, you know, having them established and not being crazy allows me to kind of put them in situations like this that they're not used to and have them not bug out completely. And then I don't know if Matt, if you want to show off stuff, I have 2 more after from different clutches.
Jesus Christ, dude. What'd you fucking grab everything you fucking had? You got like 88 babies. You're like, I've got 188 babies.
I didn't grab any Curtis. I didn't grab any Borneos from like 2 other clutches. So
Wait. You didn't grab no dark stuff for me? I like the dark stuff. You got no dark stuff. Okay.
I didn't. Well, I haven't picked my holdbacks in that clutch yet. So I don't.
Bullshit.
No, I really haven't.
This is the Mad Dan show. Come on, Dan, show us what's next.
All right, so this is my holdback Goldeneye blood from this season. He's a male and really, really cool looking. Of course, he's going to sit in a fucking shitty pattern right now. Let me try to see if I can coax him to move without upsetting him too much. So really, really cool pattern on this guy. You can see going down the side. He's a T-positive albino Goldeneye. So a recessive and an incomplete dominant trait. So the cool thing about these guys with bloods in general is they color up like crazy. So the female I produced in my Goldeneye clutch last year, different mother but same father, looked a lot like him as far as color goes. And by her first and second shed, just electric. She's a little over a year old now, and she's just absolutely wild looking. I could probably grab her at the very end of this just to show her off. But I'm really excited about that male because I think he's nicer looking now than she was at that age. So there's a lot of potential there for him to get really nice. So this
Hey guys,
next.
quick question before we lead to the next one. When is a male ready to be paired up to a female in your guys' experience? Like when do you feel it's the green light for a male as far as, is it age, weight? What does it come down to?
Really neither with males. With males, they're just ready when they're ready. Some of them will breed at 18 months. Some of them won't breed until 4 or 5 years old. And there's not a lot of manipulation we can do to make that happen. You can do certain things to try to get them in the best position, but like that, the Goldeneye, the father to that baby, he bred at like 20 months old. And then I had a male like Atlas who didn't breed until he was 4. I tried pairing him up at 2 and 3, but he just wasn't interested. Females are where it matters. Females need maturity, and there's not a weight and age that guarantees you maturity. So you really have to learn your animal, and that's why it's best to raise them and start looking for behavioral changes as they get older, because they will change when they go through that maturity. They'll get a little edgier at a certain time of the year. They'll start doing behaviors they don't normally do, whether it's bull wrapping or pacing the cage or spending more time on the cool end than they normally do or whatever. Short tails can be hard with the cool end thing because 9 times out of 10, most bloods and short tails hang on the cool end in just about any setup.
You've had better luck, Matt, with younger or older males, Matt, with your experience?
My males honestly have come to me as all of them have come to me as adults with the clutches I've had. I mean,
That's
to
cool.
be honest, I mean, like the last. Damn.
What happened?
No, you don't. You don't know yet.
No, I don't. I mean, like, I haven't raised anything up like Dan has. I mean, I'm green, you know what I mean? I've just, like I said in the beginning, bro, I've been blessed with the right people, the right animals, and yeah, I mean, I haven't raised anything up. The only thing I've really taken to that level is B, who didn't produce. She didn't have any slugs or anything, but she also had some that, you know, failed, that I had to assist feed and, you know, things like that. And like Dan doesn't do things like that, you know what I mean? So I mean, it's really different, you know. But no, I haven't raised anything up. I'm raising these Curtis up, and that's about it.
Hey Dan, I got to ask you: have you ever had like a younger male lock and do the job, but then the clutch was weak, or anything like that? Like, are you noticing anything like that?
But I don't really typically. I'm at 10% battery, so now we're in the who knows zone.
I know we're almost there.
But yeah, so I don't typically pair him up that early. I did with that T-positive 007 because I felt confident that he was ready just based on behavior. He had a little bit of size to him, just the way he was acting. And that clutch, she laid 10 perfect eggs. She was pretty light when I bred her. Right. So she didn't give me a huge clutch, but 10 perfect eggs. There might have been 1 slug. But honestly, knock on wood, I've only had 1 complication with a clutch, which was Electra this year. Where something just went wrong, but I've never had slug outs. I think the most slugs I've ever had in a clutch of short tail eggs was maybe like 2 or 3. But I keep my females trim. I don't have them on excessive heat. Like, I feel like all of that. I don't overfeed them. I feel like it makes a big difference, especially with the blood pythons. A fat blood python will slug out. It's just
all right.
Well,
listen. Before we lose you, go and show us what is this the last one you need to show off or what?
Well, for the holdbacks, yeah. So this is from my side swipe to skunk clutch. So the same genetic as those other 2 we looked at, but what the skunk trait does is it brings in the black. And what I didn't expect was kind of the back color of these animals is a much lighter color, and then that black just like. To me, it looks like somebody took a marker and drew down the side of this snake and put a black stripe on there. And I did not expect it to look that cool and contrast that way. So this clutch was a big deal to me. This was a clutch that honestly, I thought I was going to keep 2 animals from and just kind of sell the rest for right now. I got enough Borneo projects going on. And then they started hatching, and there's like 3 babies in that clutch that I am not like completely in love with and want to keep. So it's going to be tough letting some of these go, but I will have to at some point because there's 14 of them. But this is the worst feeding clutch that I've ever hatched. So out of the 14, only 9 have fed. This one eats great. But yeah, so only 9 have fed, and I've had to tease feed the shit out of them. Really kind of beat them up with the rodent to get them to take. So we'll see how that goes. Obviously, the ones I hold back are going to be animals that are like this one that have fed strong. She's on frozen thaw already, no issues. But yeah, so it's interesting because both parents are phenomenal feeders. So I don't know where that behavior came from, but these are also the most docile babies I've ever hatched. As far as like, you can't piss them off into biting. It's just not. Like, tease feeding is something we do with bloods and short tails, because if you kind of bang them around the neck a little bit with a feeder, they'll typically get mad, grab it, and once they grab it, they'll eat it. These guys don't get mad. They will literally do anything they can to get away and not bite. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. They're like so
at that
placid.
point, do you just drop feed, as in like leave it in the tub?
Right.
If that's how they'll eat, I absolutely will do that. These guys haven't done that yet. I have tried.
It's worked for me, dude. That's 100% works. I mean, like, I feel like
I have a lot of bloods and short tails that feed that way even into adulthood. They just wait.
Yeah, that's what Zach said. Zach Green said the same thing. He said he has a female that won't strike at all. He just has to leave it in the tub, and I'm like, that's crazy.
But also, like, you know, coming from somebody who's trying to breed chondros, right? Like, it all depends on the personality of the snake, and I can feel like the blood or the short tails are the one snake that you could get away with just leaving it there and it'll eat it. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't know that. You guys would know more than anything. So
they're disposals for sure. I'm gonna go run these guys back in real quick while you guys chat for a second. I'll see if I can grab that golden eye.
I got a wrap-up question for Matt, and then we'll do hot seat questions when you get back here, Dan.
Okay.
So, you know, listen, Matt, being the fact that you're, hold on one second. So being the fact here, Matt, that being the fact here, bro, that you're living flesh, you're living proof of saying, you know what, forget something I'm really in love with. I'm going to go follow my heart and passion and go all in on something, and having this kind of start paying off for you. What would be your recommendation for anyone out there who's really good at something, who could do something else, but scared to make the change, you know? And what I mean is, like, they're maybe doing something because it's more profitable, but they're not really having fun. You know what I mean? What would be advice for you?
Just make sure you got a backup plan, man. Just make sure you're ready to. Just make sure you're ready to do whatever you have to do. If you're ready to make that decision because I mean, bro, I had people telling me I was a fucking idiot, and I mean, like you asked earlier, just to be real with you, I mean, bro, I mean, until about 2-3 months ago was the first time I was ever like, fuck, I should have kept some of them fucking ball pythons.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just because it was like, and the fucking nobody's selling shit, bro. So I mean, just be prepared, because it's such a fucking niche shit. I mean, oof, you get me stressed out. I got to change hats real quick.
Oh, yeah, right. Like, it's a stress, motherfucker. It's a time.
All right. So, I mean, it's such a niche fucking thing that you have to legit be ready to take that hit. I mean, like, you know, Sarah was, and your wife and my wife talk, you know, I mean, I remember, you know, Lily's, when we hooked up at Tinley, you were like, yo, you got to meet my wife and blah, blah, blah. That was cool as shit, dude, getting to meet Lily and shit, you know. She's got one of 2 stickers forever You know, like
legendary shit.
Yeah, I mean, like, oh, bro. I mean, everything's involved. You just got to be ready to make that leap. Even Sarah, not knowing much about it, was like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I'm fucking over it." I was like, and it wasn't to the point that I was over it because of the animal. I was over it because of the point that it was just fucking me.
Hey, bro, you know what? We need to find a hot white chick for the homie Dan here, man, and he'll be all good. That's what we need. Hey, ladies, listen, this guy, this fucking goddamn combo piece, which is premium designer at any expensive restaurant for a lot of money, he's available. Okay, hit up my man Dan. Don't be no psychotic unless you're into that fucking like dominatrix shit. Like you like that whip shit. You want to get? I think Dan wants to be beat. I'm pretty sure Dan.
Nah, life beats me up enough. I'm good.
Okay,
I appreciate that though.
Hey, guys,
what do you have on a Snuggie? Is that a Snuggie?
No, it's
One of those little. Oh, I didn't know your shirt.
I told you I was going to grab the GoldenEye. This is the one that's a year old.
Listen, guys. This hot seat question round really determines who's going to win the fuck out of this episode. And
My
this is
phone's
how
probably going to die.
I need you guys to answer at the same time. And I would hate to say, even if your phone dies at this point, Dan, you still won, okay? But here we go. Hot seat questions.
Everything's fucking 8, bro. Everything 8. What you want me to do?
Here we go. Hot seat questions for the ultimate fucking showdown for these two. Are you guys ready? Here we go. I just need you to answer at the same time. Ready? Frozen thought or live?
Frozen thought.
Fresh killed.
8 cut or no cut?
Typically no.
It depends.
What do you mean? And it's either yes or no. I don't need typically or depends. I need to know yes or no.
Oh, fucking A. This is not a fucking flash round.
If it came down to it, if it came down to fucking you getting that fucking world first, cut the egg or not.
No, I'm not cutting it. I'm not cutting it for that reason. I'll only cut eggs if I made a mistake with incubation and I fucked them over.
I've never had to.
So would you or not though? That's a thing. Would you ever cut an egg?
Well, I have cut eggs, but not for a world's first or anything like that. For something where I screwed up incubation.
I was just you're running with that, motherfucker. I was using an example. Okay, you could just say yes or no. Would you, if it ever came down to it?
Yes.
Would you say?
He said no. I said yes.
All right, Dan's lying.
Oh, he already did it though. So he said yes.
Okay, red chondro neo or yellow chondro neo?
Red.
Pre first shed meal or post first shed meal?
Oh, for what animal?
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about the shorties. Shorties or bloods?
Well, you better feed them.
Obviously before it sheds.
Yeah, okay. You better, because they'll die.
They'll fucking be dead as fuck if not.
Yay imports or boo imports?
Boo.
I'm
not dealing with all that goddamn shit with my collection.
All right, -5 points, Matt. Go ahead. Keep going.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to that because I don't like imports per se, but also what they mean to the value of the communities and the animals and how they get taken care of in places matters. So if we stop importation, species are going to go extinct. So as much as people think it's over, so I don't know what to say. I guess yes.
Yes. Okay. All right, Matt.
If you're prepared for that in your collection, then yeah.
Of course. Okay, if there was one reptile that you could import to your collection anywhere around the world, doesn't matter what the money or the size of your home is, whatever it could be, what would it be?
For me, a fucking pure red as fuck Banca Island, just because I like that shit. Red blood python. Oh, fuck! I already answered.
I'm supposed to answer at the same time, huh? I'm fucking over here thinking.
Shit, Dan.
But,
you're not supposed to study his answer.
Yeah, no. I would say I would just want a Komodo dragon.
Yes. Go, Dan. That's what I'm talking about.
Fuck the AZA. I want it.
Whatever, man.
Oh, hold on. Okay, well, listen. What
this
about
whole thing was set up from the beginning?
What
What's
about
that?
What about one reptile nobody should ever import ever again? Leave it alone.
Green iguana.
Green iguana.
That's a good one. You can't beat that, really, unless it's a sea turtle. Okay, big flexor, no flexor.
No.
Big flex.
To miss or not miss a short tail or blood python.
Some can get really pissed off if you spray them, but I would say unless absolutely necessary, I wouldn't do it.
Matt, will you spray?
Yeah, I missed all mine. I've got a goddamn fucking spray right fucking here. Yeah,
oh my God, easy, Tiger. Okay,
Yeah,
here
wow.
we go. We're almost there. Steak or fish?
Oof.
Fucking steak.
Yeah, I gotta go steak. I like both, but yeah.
Yay alcohol or boo alcohol?
Yay
Yeah.
alcohol.
Favorite alcohol beverage?
Jack Daniels.
Beer. No liquor. No.
One species you don't keep that you wish you would keep.
I would say definitely Bolins. I like them.
Ooh, I like to see Dan with some Bolins. What about you, Matt?
I'd really want some sort of like a cool tortoise for the boys that we can like, you know what I mean? I don't want to break into dad mode or nothing, but I mean like Oliver really digs on that, or if it's like appropriate, I don't know, like maybe like building a really nice koi pond or something like outside. I mean,
Right.
you know.
All right, we got to wrap it up. This full battery depends on your answer, so just
I don't know
stop.
how I'm still here.
Listen, West Coast rap or East Coast rap?
Come the fuck on, dude. Jesus Christ.
West Coast.
East
Whoa!
Coast.
Dan says West Coast. Dan said West Coast. Dan, favorite West Coast rap group of all time?
Has to be a rap group.
Or rapper?
He doesn't even know. He doesn't know.
No, I'm a Dre guy all day. I think he does great production work. I think he does good music. I think he's brought us a lot of talent over the years. So Dre's my guy.
Okay, Matt. Favorite,
Matt,
stop it. Favorite East Coast rap or rapper of all time?
Of all time, that's fucking crazy. I mean, obviously, probably of all time.
He says all time.
The whole fucking East Coast, dude. I mean, it's fucking goddamn Biggie Smalls. I mean, but I have a Nipsey Hussle tattoo. You know what I mean? Just because I believe in that shit. But I mean, like,
so you're contradicting yourself. Then everything. So you're saying East Coast, but you have a West Coast artist on your fucking body. That's weird.
It's an amazing tattoo. It's an amazing tattoo.
Okay, here we go. Word association. First thing to come to mind, milk.
Cow.
Milk.
Milk, I said, Matt. Milk. Here we go. Come on.
That's the first word that came to his mind was milk.
Cereal.
There we go. Cocoa.
Pebbles.
Puffs.
Stuck shed.
Humidity.
Sphagnum moss.
FedEx shipping.
Fuck you. Don't go to Indy, motherfucker.
First time short tail python breeder.
Don't put them in a fucking fish aquarium.
Temperature.
The ball python community.
I love you guys.
Dick measuring contest.
Thank you for fucking everything that you helped me with in the beginning, and everyone that helped me, whatever, you know, they're great people.
U.S. Art.
Wonderful.
Support the fuck out of it.
If it came down to you, like let's just say it was your best friend asking for advice and they had all the money, whatever the fuck. Let's say you just got a little fucking, Warren Buffett's fucking grandson who's your best friend or whatever the fuck, and you really believed in this person. He's asking you, what should I invest in first if I were to get into the short tail game? What would it be?
Oof.
You answer first, Dan.
Why Dan?
I think if you're going to say blood pythons, And just
I
blood
mean,
pythons.
that's what I'm saying. It breaks down. Are we breaking it down to species?
Go for the highest quality reds you can get.
I said
Those
short
never
tails.
sleep.
I said short tails in the goddamn answer in the question.
I thought you said blood python game.
Short tail
So-
game.
Short, as in all of them.
So if it's all the short tails, get yourself some dark Sumatrans because they never go out of style.
Thank you. Okay, so he's saying go the dark route. What would you say, Matt?
Holler at me for these orange heads, and I got you.
Damn. Hey, listen, fellas, we had almost. I mean, I would say, yeah, we had well over 70 people at one point in this fucking live. Let's start with you, Matt. What do you have to say to everyone tapping in, showing you mad love and support for this 2-hour and 15-minute episode?
Bro, fucking thank you so much. I'm sorry, me and Dan actually talked, and we were actually going to dress up as wrestlers, but then we realized that I was.
That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
It was a lot of work, and we were like, yeah, fuck that. But
we were gonna stay in character and everything.
I would have never been able to do that for 2 hours. But man, thank everybody that fucking hollers at me and supports my shit, buys fucking babies, whatever, thank you so much, because I mean, it means everything, I mean, even when nothing's happening and people are still hitting you up and being like, yo, you doing all right? I mean, that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Like what you said earlier, bro, like, when you were like, I got to meet Dan at Tinley, that's the same way I felt whenever you were like, hold the fuck on, you got to meet my wife. And you went and found fucking sis, and it was like, that was cool.
Check it out, Matt, I want you to know when we were on our way to Tinley, my wife was telling me certain people she wanted to make sure she had to say hi to. And you were definitely one of them, bro. And so obviously, not only does that mean something to me, but my wife, who doesn't, she can't go on every Tinley with me. She's my right-hand woman. Like, she's here holding it down. So that one Tinley opportunity you had to meet her, she'll always hold on to that, bro. And so, bro, yeah, listen, it's all good. All love.
So cool. That table we sat at was the demise of my night.
We didn't even talk about fucking this guy getting escorted out of the strip club and shit because how high he looked, or he was or something.
Dude, they wouldn't even let me go. They wouldn't even let me go, dude. I mean, I got halted at B-Dubs. I was like, all
right. Listen, before we lose him, Dan, what do you have to say to all you? Dude, you had a lot of support in the comments, man. A lot of people who love to hear you talk. What do you have to say to all your supporters and everyone rooting for you, buddy?
I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody that reaches out all the time. I do get a lot of messages from people. I appreciate the support. I have a lot of people on YouTube that are wonderful, which is why I keep trying to do content. So just thank you to everybody that does anything from hitting like on a picture, helping that algorithm, to, reaching out, whatever. I think it's a huge compliment to, probably the biggest compliment I've had is people recognizing animals I produce based on, what I'm going for, and then seeing it in somebody else's collection and being like, oh, did you produce this? I think you did. So that to me means a lot, that people are paying attention and seeing, the fruits of my labor, so to speak, and all the community and everybody that's involved in making these animals.
Well, I can't ask you guys how much I appreciate what kind of content we just brought to the short tail community. Elijah was one thing, right? But here we have two people who are really putting out their legacy, and not only with you, Dan, because you've been out and putting your fucking your feet on the ground for a while, but my man Matt, man, I'm so happy for you, Matt. I'm telling you right now, bro, you lit a fire for yourself, and you ain't putting that out anytime soon. You yourself are creating a legacy, and we have to owe it to people like Dan and other people like Elijah, other people who've really been tapped into this. Tracy Barker, we didn't even talk about the Barkers, like somebody who's really put you on, right, Matt? Which we'll have another episode for that. By the way, Matt, are you gonna listen? Somebody is this close of booking Tracy on this show. Are you gonna let him take the glory and not you? And there goes Dan. Dan, God bless you, Dan. Hey, give it up for Dan. Hey, Dan. Hey, bro. Oh man. Hey, dude, listen, I'm going to take whatever super chat that was put in for tonight's show. I'm going to put towards a charger for Dan's phone. Or no, actually, it's going to go towards a new phone for Dan. Dan's phone charger port broke, and the guy can't even afford a new phone. Is this bad to say? I'm so sorry. But let's drop a super chat for Dan right now. Any money that you drop, I'm donating to Dan right now. God bless Dan Magano. But listen, Matt, bro, I gotta say, I'm so happy for you, bro. Listen, you stay 10 toes down. You still make your face out to these shows. I've got to meet you, and I just love to see your production, bro. You've been quiet, but then you'll come out of nowhere and be like, bam, look what I just fucking made. And that's all it takes, bro. Like, I'm just happy for you, bro. You're making the right moves.
I appreciate it, bro. Like I said, I've just gotten very lucky with, getting animals from and becoming friends with the right people in the game, bro. I mean, just to be real with you, between Tracy, Kevin, fucking Martyr,
but listen, Matt, I give my credit to people like Miguel, Brian Barczyk, like Socrates, people that I could call and rely on, right? But you think they would have that relationship if I was a piece of shit person? So I want to give yourself, like, you should give yourself props. Like, you're somebody that these people want to fuck with. The same way I want to fuck with you, bro. Like, you're somebody, like, you're not the help. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, stars align to where you are meant to meet these fucking legendary people the same way I am. So get Tracy on this show, motherfucker. Hey, Matt, listen, have a good night, bro. I love you, dog. I'm proud of you.
I love you, bro.
Keep this shit going, bro. And you got my phone number. Hit me up anytime you want to chop it up. Tell Oliver he's my boy. Tell your wife, God bless her. And I'll catch you next time. But it's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen, from O'Malley's Morph. Let's go. All right, bro. See you later, dog.
Later, bro.
Man, stick to your guns. Do what you love, and things will be great. I appreciate everyone who tapped in for this episode. Make sure you hit that like button before you dip out. Hit that subscribe button if this was your first time tapping in. I appreciate any super chats. You guys are awesome. Appreciate all the fucking activity in the live chats. You guys are great, man. You guys are what make this shit poppin'. I appreciate it. So I got to say, the week is still heavy to come. Sunday, we have a great episode lined up. I know a lot of you guys heard me talk about the gecko breeder at the Las Vegas show selling over $400,000 in fucking crested geckos within 20 minutes of the VIP opening. And we're going to bring this guy on the show. His name's Brian from Altitude Exotics. And goddamn, let me just tell you, ever since I was going to say I'm bringing this guy on the show, I had people left and right telling me fucking, oh, he's a dick, blah, blah, blah. And like, I'm not shy to talk about this on the show. I want to know why so many people are hating on this guy. Like, what the fuck? Like, come on. I mean, but is he a dick? We'll find out. I don't know too much about him, but I ain't scared to ask. Are you guys ready to find out? Tap in Sunday going down 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And like I said, if you're looking for exclusive content, if you want more MJ, if you want more of the trappers, if you want to see exactly what I have going on behind the scenes, well, guys, just so you know, after Sunday's episode, we have our Trap Talk Zoom session going down. Patreon members only. Tap in with us, man. Come join the Trap Talk Patreon family. After you join the Patreon family, I give you a link to the Discord. Link to the Discord will tap you in with every fucking single Trap Talk family member that's a part of the Patreon family. And I'm telling you right now, man, anywhere from the new hot and coming to the hot and coming, all a part of the family. OGs to new up and comers. Wherever you're at, you could fit into this family. But more importantly, if you feel like you ain't getting shit out of nothing more than just breeding and you want more, you feel like you want to build something and share it with people, well, then there you go. Come down, click on that first link. Like I said, Trap Talk Patreon family, come join and we'll fucking take you in and let's go. No weird Bob Smith activity, obviously. We fucking sense that shit. You get the boot. And that's how we roll. Guys, also exclusive content when you go to the Patreon family, like the Trap Talk Chronicles, Soundcheck Chronicles. If you want to see what's said during these Soundcheck sessions, then you have to be a part of the Patreon page. But I am now recording every Soundcheck that I do with every guest. And goddamn, they are either funny, awkward, who knows. Very weird shit going down sometimes with these Soundcheck Chronicles. And it's all shared with the Patreon members. And that's how I bring some, if not little, Patreon content to the table. Guys, I love you so much. Thank you for your love and support. Hit that subscribe button. I will catch you guys next time. And yeah, thank you so much for your love and support. Matt, Dan, you guys killed it. Appreciate you guys as well. And I'll catch you guys Sunday. And I'm out. Cheers.